Squawking Dead, a podcast pulverizing episodes beyond the Walking Dead universe. I'm your host, David Cameo, and I'm joined by Cosmomon09, Rachel Burt, who's here after a long hiatus, Sharon D, aka Blasey Gardner, and Bridget. ko-fi.com/Punky Brewster. That's PUNKYBRUISETER. And hello, everybody. We're here live to talk to you about the 10th episode of Fear the Walking Dead's 8th and final season, titled Keeping Her Alive. Well, we do have one bit of housekeeping we have to say at the top of the show before I say hi to all of you officially. And that's, we have decided on a date and time for our Rockin' Round Robin benefit for Robin Overton, aka the black and white guy on Instagram. Is something wrong? What's happening? Bridget.
Is that the name? It sounded like
Yeah.
it was hard to say.
Rockin' Round Robin.
That did sound hard to say.
Rockin' Round Robin benefit. Well, it's not benefit, but it's Rockin' Round Robin. It's a benefit for Robin Overton, the black and white guy. God, such
Rockin' Round
critics.
Robin.
Starting already. It's not even about the episode. Starting it up. We're trying to do something nice for Robin. He's just
Are you
screwing it
new
up.
here?
Anyway, so yes, the date is December 10th. The time is 2 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. And
I
we'll,
can't do that time.
well, go. Man, so. Oh, you know what? Let me go live on Instagram because I forgot to do that.
Hi,
Nobody
Jason.
cares. Instagram sucks.
Hey, Jason.
Anyway,
Jason.
so no,
Hey.
Hey.
I'm not done yet. And so we're going to talk. So that's right. December 10th, 2 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, we'll be doing a benefit for Robin. We're going to be having some really cool prizes already, and we're more to come, but we will be posting some stuff on social media, and we're going to need your help. So on top of, and this is very important, these two things right now, we did this before our Jackbox charity live stream. We did this before, we asked you this before our TWDU trivia charity battle, and I mostly named it that because it would trip me up. We need you to do two things. One is if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe and then click that little bell and enable all notifications, and then tell others to subscribe whenever you can, as soon as you can, because we need you to help spread the word for this benefit that we're throwing when it comes the time. The reason for that is because we need... Well, I had to collect my thoughts. The reason for that is because we need to actually get as many people on this stream as possible to raise as much money as possible, and also to get more people with deeper pockets for some of these amazing prizes, and the rest of you who may not even be able to put any money down on the prizes during these rounds, you're going to be enjoying some programming in between the auctions, which Sharon is very carefully thought through. We did speak about it a little bit last week, but we have more of a grapple on what we're going to do, and especially since the strike is now indefinitely suspended, we can do a lot more. Should we talk about that briefly right now? Do you want to tell them what we have in store on that front?
Well,
We could let him be intrigued.
right.
Just show him a little ankle.
So what we're doing is a radio style quiz show. We have.
I think you might have to
we'll
turn
have
up
a
your game,
panel.
Sharon D. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. How about that?
That's perfect.
Cash me outside. How about that?
Yeah, I said it was fine.
right.
God.
So
Hello, fellow young
so
people.
we're gonna we're gonna have a panel of 3 people, and I think we're gonna be switching some of the panel members in and out. We have some other people that want to join too, so we're gonna be switching some panel members in and out. We're hopefully going to get a couple of special people to be on the panel, and one of the things you will be able to bid on is the chance to play a game with that person on the panel.
It
With
could
our
be-
special
Our fingers
people.
crossed for
It
that.
could be a
Yeah,
cast
special
member. It could be a crew member. It could be any number of
Right.
special people. That's what
It's
we're
Bridget.
planning on.
Bridget is
It's
a
just
big
me.
draw.
I mean,
Bridget
we're all
is the
pretty
big draw.
special.
Surprise. No,
But
do you
anyway,
want it?
I'm
So sorry.
we're talking to people and we're finalizing things, so we can't really say anything. But we will have you'll have the ability, the 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 chance to join the person in the game will be included in the prize pack. That is not a separate bid. So when you bid on the prize pack, that's included in it. That's you'll play in the very next game on screen with the panel and whoever we have on it. So the questions are not going to be hard. This is not trivia. It's mostly going to be holiday themed. Um, it's about being funny and cute and having a good time. It's not about winners or losers or anything like that. So
Yeah.
it's all just to have a good time and raise some money for Robin. And we're putting together the best show we can put together for you guys.
And we could tell them that about the Secret Santa portion of that, right?
Yes, we do have. I drew for Secret Santa the other night, Sunday night after Fear, and everybody has their assignments. And in between
I'm
games, while
super
we're
excited.
yeah,
Nobody trade with her.
no, she's not on trade. She's not on trade. Uh,
She's
in
allowed to, but
between
nobody's
games
letting
while
her.
we're
That's the thing.
in between games while we're setting up, getting the other host in or whatever, we'll be playing our Secret Santa videos. If you want to get in on Secret Santa, I still have a couple of names in my cup I can draw. I mean, we have plenty, but if you want to join in, please, we welcome you. We want you to join in and have fun with us.
Tell them where to DM you.
DM me at Blazy Gardner on Instagram.
That's right. And so,
And visit her
Where-
YouTube page to watch the videos in the past.
Right.
That's
If
right.
you go to
So you know
my
what we're
YouTube,
doing.
the very last video I have is actually our Secret Santa from 2 years ago.
and
So
we
it's
we actually
right
put
there
it
when you go to the page.
we put it in the blog in order to promote the Secret
Yeah,
Santa for this year.
So it's even easier to find.
That's right.
And it's that year we did like a variety show kind of thing, but this year since we're mixing it up with the benefit for Robin, we're not really doing all the
Production.
show's production stuff, but we had a lot of fun. Like we had a couple of the cast members were in it, and everybody had a really good time. We had some songs in it. Some people wrote songs about Fear, and we put that in there.
I did.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, Bailey did too. Yeah.
Jess, we put Jess's song. Jess, who won the Christmas. No, I mean not Jess. Charlotte. We put
Charlotte,
Charlotte's Fear
yes.
song in there. Yeah.
Well, she was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of this to say is that all of this stuff will be
so
playing
good.
at the benefit. So we're gonna have panelists for a sort of game show. We're gonna have Secret Santa videos embedded throughout the program, and also prize packs that you can win throughout the night. These prize packs are hopefully going to be the thing that raises the money for Robin Overton. So open your hearts, open your wallets, and if you can't do either, you mean people who can't open your hearts, well, share out of spite. Share whatever we have coming out. And to do that, again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, enable all notifications, and enable social media notifications at least for the next month, because December 10th, 2 p.m., that's when it's happening. It's the next month. Wherever you prefer to receive any social media notifications, whether it's X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, Threads, we're going to be promoting this everywhere. So Blue Sky, which we're on also.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. So wherever you prefer, enable notifications there, because we're going to need your help. We can't give Robin the help that he needs without your help too. It's not
Also, guys,
it's not monetary. It's just sharing. Liking even helps with visibility on Twitter, on Instagram especially. Anything you could do on that front is even more important to reach the people who have the pockets that can be reached, especially during this time of year where some people are overextending themselves for Christmas gifts or going broke trying. So we want to reach those people who can really, really help with Robin's medical bills. Again, well, we should tell them what it's about. Robin Overton, the black and white guy. You may know him as fan artist for not only The Walking Dead, but Sons of Anarchy, all these other shows.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, exactly.
1903?
A lot
Oh
of
man,
Marvel and stuff.
his 1923 drawing. Whoa, that was
Right.
awesome.
Right.
Oh, great.
Go
And
follow him on Instagram too. You
right,
know,
it's
you
the
can,
BLK
it's
and
yeah,
white
the
guy.
BLK and white guy
Yeah.
on Instagram.
And so they discovered that he had stomach cancer. He got a portion of it removed recently. He's been on chemotherapy. The thing that we need your help on is helping him in terms of financial assistance as it pertains to his medical bills. It's just too much for him. Insurance can only offset so much, and he's been such a great guy with all of us when it comes to things personally, but also when it comes to helping donate some of the prints that he has to some of our charities as well. And he's just the best person to know. You should be following him already, and if you're not, he's on Facebook too, if you prefer that. He's on Instagram primarily, I think, but those two places are the best. And you can follow his journey too, and you can keep in touch with him. But
He just posted, I think it was yesterday, I think it was today, that he's gonna have to go back into chemo again.
right, because he got refused immunotherapy by
Right.
his doctor.
And also, if you have the pleasure or the chance to meet him at any of the conventions, Robin gives the best hugs.
Oh, and he's so tall, and I'm so small,
He
so
is.
it's even better. It's true. I'm a very lucky man when it comes to hugs. I'm going to say that much. Anyway, so let's say hi to everybody first before we continue, and that is, let's see, AJ.
I do have one tiny thing, Dave.
Okay, do you want to do it now? It's fine.
I got sent a birthday card by our friend Kendall.
Oh, which you
who,
mentioned a
if you
while ago.
want-
Yeah.
If you want to go, I didn't ever show it though. If you want to go follow her, she's a very talented artist. On Instagram, her
Fan art underscore.
username is fanart_in_progress. And she sent me this sweet little birthday
Hold on.
card with Daniel in it because she remembered that I said Daniel was my favorite character during our like top 5
And it's
thing
so
that we did.
good.
Show it on the
months and
screen
months
some more.
ago.
I
while
saw
talking.
it online. It is so good.
So super cute. There's a little sketch that she sent me, so I'm
That's
just very
amazing.
appreciative, and she's very talented, and you should go follow her. No, it's not my birthday today, Jermaine. It was my birthday in September, but sometimes things happen, you know, and we forget, and then stuff gets sent later, and that's okay.
I don't know if he wants everybody to know his name. We should have asked beforehand.
Jermaine told me in a live.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
It's fine.
Because we didn't talk about this ahead of time.
No, we talked last night.
Because I
and
asked
said
him his
wouldn't
name
dox
plenty of
you, and
times. He
"It's
never said
okay."
anything. Anyway, thank God. I had like that panic. Like, oh no, we're disrespecting him.
I was like, I don't want to dox you. He's like, it's okay.
Okay.
Virgos represent.
Yeah. My sister's a Virgo.
Takira said we're Virgo. She was a Virgo.
Isn't Aiden was posting
am.
about that as well, right? Something like that.
Aiden,
Yeah, he's
Aiden,
smushed in there.
Bridget, and I. Aiden, Bridget, and I all have birthdays within 5 days of each other.
Yeah, I noticed. Whew, there's a
Yeah.
lot of birthdays. Okay, so AJ Abbott was here before it was cool. Hipster fan. I know that we're going a little bit further back than we should, I think, because this is like half an hour before we even started. David Carranza was early. Title card for this episode sucked too. Oh, AJ, snap! We're gonna get into that, all of that, I suppose, because that was a little weird. Rachel, yo, everybody, cool, ha ha ha.
Rude. Aiden isn't even here.
Aiden's the best.
He doesn't even go here.
He does sometimes. He's also whispers to you, remember? I'm dead, literally in comparison. Okay, unlike Mummy, Brendan before it gets reconstituted. Well, guys, we're going to talk about a lot. Okay, the episode that broke AJ's sanity. David Carranza's laughing already. David Cohen, hi. Walking into Eternal, for me, this episode, fear was all over the place. Yes, that's the only critique I really had. That's really it for me.
The only critique you really have.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Rachel slang work.
Okay,
David
okay.
Carranza says, whoa. Bridger and I are matching. David Carranza says, shout out to the Walking Dead fam. Squawking Dead fam, you're awesome. And to everyone in the chat, you're awesome too.
I thought you were just saying hello, not reading every single comment posted.
You haven't been here for 2 episodes. I made a promise
He
that I would
started
read
doing
people's
this
comments.
now. And I just check out mentally because I've already read them.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I read them while he's talking.
But we didn't-
It gives me a lot of time.
it's not Walking Dead official. It's like, yeah, business as usual on Squawking Dead. Everybody ignores what I say and looks at the chat. You know what? I'm gonna blind all of you, and then you can only remember the good old days when it was just audio. Anyway,
No.
no, you weren't here.
I wasn't here.
Nobody was here.
None of us were here.
Yeah, when we were doing audio
It was
only.
you and Carol.
Yeah. So okay, I think we got everybody really. It's mostly highs and buys, but Carranza said he liked my cap, and I wanted to mention that the cap was one of the things that I won from Takira's auction that we had a few Sundays ago, and I'm wearing it now, and so I think it's the Commonwealth one. It's pretty cool for now.
I
Until
own it.
it gets annoying.
I
own
also
it,
have
it's
that
cool.
hat.
I too have that hat, young people. Something like
Fellow
that.
young people.
Fellow young people. All right, so let's start with first impressions. It's gonna be brutal. I think I wanted to add a caveat to this one, but who cares? Okay. And while we're giving our first impressions, why don't you give us a general first impression of yours in the chat? We're getting
can
chat
I-
bombed. Anyway,
Can I
not yet.
talk about my
No.
theory
Nope.
before, because I think
No.
it will have bearing
Now you're
on what
last.
everybody says.
Rachel, starting with Rachel. What are your first impressions of this episode? Because you haven't been here in a while, and
I'll
we
just
missed
be
you.
forgotten.
No, you won't. Well, definitely. You can do it at the end of your spiel, because I think your impressions, or weave it in, whatever. Rachel?
Oh, me? Do I go now?
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to.
Stop. Oh, for once she's waiting for me to stop talking. What is... Well, that's nice when I didn't want it.
Aw.
Never get what I want.
Wah, wah.
You got Madison.
Oh, no,
back.
I'm sorry. That was my first impression.
Oh, I thought she was... Feelings ignored yet again. All right, well,
Got him.
no. Be a little bit more specific. You haven't been here for a while. Give the people what
I
they
haven't.
genuinely want. They genuinely miss
haven't.
you.
Okay.
All these
Be,
weeks.
be
Okay.
more specific. Womp,
No, you don't have
womp.
to be more specific, but just
Wah, wah,
feelings can sometimes be sound
wah.
effects
Yeah.
and more
Um,
sound effects. You're good at them too.
All right. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, so I had a lot of catching up to do. I am having a hard time just coming up with like a first impression, because I so badly just want to like get my hands in there and get all bloody and just tear it apart. I was not happy. Mostly because Madison is still alive. I'm very upset that we were promised an explanation as to why she is
Alive?
back, why she is here, how she got out of the diamond. We were told that that it would be explained. We were told that they would tell us how she survived all that, and it hasn't happened yet, and we're running out of time. And at this point, how she got out, I mean, doesn't even like it. No matter what they say, isn't going to have any bearing on the story whatsoever. I feel
At this
like
point, maybe.
at this point, with 2 episodes left, however she got out, I don't know. Maybe they'll tie it all together, but I'm not holding my breath. So I'm upset that we still don't know how Madison got out of the diamond. I feel like I'm yelling because I have both my ears covered. I'm gonna do this. Okay.
I'm fine with it. It's fine.
This episode in particular,
Which is the one we're talking about.
yeah.
Well,
Sorry, I have to
let's guide you.
separate it because I watched Sanctuary and this one back to back,
Mm.
and so some of my thoughts may be getting crossed over.
That's
I
fine.
enjoyed Sanctuary. I thought it was, I didn't get to talk about it, so I'm just gonna drop this little nugget. But I did enjoy that episode. I thought it was a really nice trip down memory lane. I don't
Wasn't that nice?
Sherry and Dwight, I kind of like, as far as the relationship goes, I like, sometimes I just want to like shake them and like knock their heads together. But, you know, I guess it's real. I don't know. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
I did enjoy Sanctuary. I thought that was very well done. This episode, oh, I have so many thoughts. I didn't, it wasn't, no, just no.
I feel like we
there
got
were too many
nothing out of
things.
it.
There were too many things that didn't make
You should-
sense.
You should have let.
I-
let
you
me go
shoulda- we
first,
shoulda
I'm
moved
telling
on.
ya.
I know, right? There were too many things that didn't make sense.
Mhm.
I
That's
guess
partially why
that's
we're
it.
here.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I guess yeah.
I think that's
That's
partially
my
why we're here
initial
too.
reaction.
I think
Didn't make sense.
I think we often find that when we get together, we parse it out and we make a little bit more sense by the end of it.
Dave, I don't think there is.
You've seen my notes. We can.
No
do it.
one's gonna make sense of this.
I feel like I'm gonna be gang rape.
Up on, ganged up on.
Ganged.
No,
Nope,
banged.
no, not
nope,
that,
banged
not that word,
like
not
a
that
nope
hard R
gang.
word. No, 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 no,
Nope.
no.
We're gonna
You are
get
going to get ganged up on. is
banged
what
by
you
a
wanted
bunch
to
of
say.
gangs by everybody today.
I'm out. Bye, guys. Have a great night.
Bridget, what's your first impression of this episode?
Well, I wore glasses for a reason tonight, and it's so I could do this. Not really. Not really. I did like that
Wait,
though.
wait though. I'm gonna have to put mine on now because that's
Okay.
gonna happen in a minute.
Okay. So the reason I'm sorry, I'm wearing glasses because my migraines have been out of this world this week. But so thank you. Thank you, G. Wilsons.
what
Some
she say?
theatrics are amazing.
Okay.
Okay, so what did I think about this episode?
She's stalling.
I'm gonna try to be as gentle as possible.
She had to get it out.
What? It, it, it
More sound effects from the peanut gallery.
See? It's hard to put into words, isn't it?
because here's the thing. I
Shoulda
don't.
come to
I
me
don't want to
first.
say what I think about. I don't want to.
Actually, I'm actually not regretting this.
because
At all.
I-
This is gold.
there's just it's weird. It was weird.
All right, Sharon D, what's your first impressions and your theory?
I'm not done.
No, you've forfeited.
Bridget,
Here's why
would
you're
you
done.
care-
No, wait,
would
wait.
you care to continue, Bridget?
No. Here's why you're done. Okay, because at the end of the night, you're gonna be like, I have to go, and I'm like, you wasted 15 minutes making fart noises and sound effects. Nobody could hear the fart noises, but I made them for you. And then I get the complaints. Dave, maybe you could start a little earlier. Maybe you can get to the
God,
point.
Dave.
And now you've wasted 15 minutes on this.
No, it was worth it though, wasn't it?
David
Okay,
being
all right,
extra
all
spicy.
right.
But it was him talking, so it's fine.
It's fine.
Bridget,
Exactly.
Would you care to continue before I go on?
Bridget, I'm gonna kick Bridget out of this
Just kidding.
recording. Would you like to go on?
All right.
Go ahead.
Let me preface this by saying I got what I wanted. Not in this episode. But I got what I wanted this season with June. I wanted savage, badass, mess people up June, and I got it. Okay, so I want to preface what I'm about to say with that. Here's my theory. I've been wondering how in the world this show got so bad.
Wait, you didn't give your impression though.
It's gonna come.
Oh, okay, fine.
Take a seat.
So I was trying to think. Why? How has this show gotten so bad? And here's what I've come up with. The writers are trolling us. This whole season is one big troll.
Oh my god!
And let
I
me-
thought you had a real theory.
This is a
This
theory.
horrible
This is a real theory. Look, everybody was like, "Hey, bring Madison back." So they brought Madison back, but what kind of Madison did they bring back? oh, we want Dwight and Sherry to have a happy ending. Nah, you don't get that. Their kid's gonna die and they're gonna split up 6 times. You know, it's it it's like they went out, they set out purposely to write the worst stuff they could possibly write to 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 get to us. Is how I feel about it, and that's how I can look at it and not be too mad because I'm like, okay, they're just playing with us. It's okay. They're giving us back what we gave them.
Well, what
Past
others
4
may have
years.
given them is really more accurate.
So
We've been pretty good about for a while until
right.
season 7 really. Season
Yeah.
6
Oh
we
yeah.
had some moments,
I loved 4, 5. No, I loved 4, 5, and 6. I loved seasons 4, 5,
but
and
the
6.
but the critiques started coming in season 6 from us. Like near the end with the Teddy and the first
I would say
memorable
the
one.
end of 7.
No, even the end of 6.
I'd say the beginning. Well, I think for me it was 7B was when I really got fired up with 7B.
It,
Mhm.
I can tell you why. It was the moment. The clear moment was when Victor kickstomped Morgan. Well, first of all, he complaining about Morgan throughout season 6.
Okay,
as
yeah.
well.
Okay,
Even
That
though there
was-
was
that
some
was
redeeming
specifically
moments,
Morgan,
Clear
not the show.
moment.
but the clear moment was
Yes.
Victor kickstomping Morgan
because
into the walkers on the
because
sub.
he got. How did he get out?
Exactly. Right. But this is my
Activate
point.
death stench.
Then
That's well. See, we figured that out. It was the death stench.
we gave it a little bit of a pass in the first few episodes of season 7, like 1 and 2, even though 2 was a little annoying, and then all of us it started going downhill from there.
I
Slowly.
Walking Dead live channel was showing season 6 yesterday, and I watched a couple episodes of season 6, and the disparity between 6 and now is just staggering. Like I was like, what happened? What happened to this show? Because this season 6 was good, and it was even the Morgan episode, and I was digging it. You know what I mean? It was just like, what happened? So my first impressions of this was, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? I don't understand what is going on in this show. I just don't get it. I do not understand it. And I am the biggest fan in the world of Fear the Walking Dead. And I am sitting here going, I don't understand what in the world is going on in this show. Same complaint as always. Acting, great. Cinematography, fantastic. Direction, great. Everything was good. It's the writing. It is the writing. We get into stuff. I mean, it's nothing made sense. Winter, where the heck did they go? Where it's winter and walkers are getting flash frozen in the mud. Because are they in the South still? Because there aren't a whole lot of places in the South that get that cold where you can flash freeze walkers in place.
Not for an extended period of time. Maybe
Well,
like a few hours in the
And
morning.
how did they get there so fast? Are they flying?
I don't think they did get there so fast because they traveled
How-
way far
How did
west.
How did they get back from the sanctuary so fast?
They had Tracy build a plane.
I mean,
Well, they're little-
everything in
little
this is just
thingies.
okay. Nobody can find Padre. Nobody can find Padre. It's this massive secret. Nobody can find it. But they can find each other in the woods, in the marshes, in the swamps with precision. They don't know where they are, but they managed to find Madison out in the middle of nowhere. But they can't
No
find an
one-
entire settlement.
No one can find Padre except if you see one lighthouse.
What? Do you know how many
Mhm.
lighthouses there are
One
in
lighthouse.
Savannah?
Like 3.
And
Only
if you
one.
can't find Padre, how are you gonna find the lighthouse? Isn't that gonna be harder to find than a big settlement
Well,
with boats going in and out of it?
it might take
It's
time,
just-
but they could probably
It's just
find it.
It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
I'm not that bothered by it. Anyway, I'm acknowledging I'm like going to be the only man out.
Again, show people. I love all of you. This is nothing against anybody on the show. I mean, you guys are
You mean
all
actors?
killing what you. Yeah, cast, crew.
Oh, okay.
You guys are killing it.
Yep.
What you've got to work with. You're all
The
doing
shots
the
are
best you can.
amazing.
Mhm.
But the writing that you're being given is just ridiculous. and I can't think of any explanation other than they did it on purpose to troll the fans. Also, Tracy, Troy, troll. It's all right there. Conspiracy theory.
Well, actually, so Tracy,
They all start with TR.
Tracy,
Tracy,
That's the
troll. Troy, troll.
Tracy's named after her mother, Troy's mother. So it was already a name that was established in the universe. Tracy
There's
Otto's
been
mentioned in the
change
video
to
for
fact. There's been
Teotihuacan. So
Oh, okay. I wonder where that came
yeah,
from.
we mentioned the blog when we first met her.
I love that little girl, by the way.
Yeah,
Hell
Antonella
yes.
Rose.
She's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
She's great.
No, I
Um,
mean, like, I love Tracy.
I love her
Like,
Instagram
yeah.
too. She's very
Oh, and
generous.
the actress, like, hello, there are
Yeah.
talented child actors
Yeah,
in the world.
she was
Look at 'em.
amazing.
Look at her.
Like,
I think
like,
you
other
especially
than
liked when
June-
she was trying to kill Madison, though, didn't you?
I think
Yes,
other
that
than
was
June,
by far my
Tracy is
favorite,
my
yes.
favorite.
Do you know
I've
who
been
she
rooting for
reminds
her.
me of? A young Larissa Olenek.
Olnek. Oh my
you know what I'm talking
gosh.
about?
Yes.
That's who she reminds me
Where
of.
from?
Im-
Where would I know her from?
The Secret World of Alex
Secret World of-
Mack.
Yeah. Alex
Are you
Mack.
kidding?
Hello.
What is that? I've never heard of that in my
Nickelodeon
life.
show.
Okay.
She steps in ooze and then she gets these
And
powers and
becomes
she can
Capri
turn into
Sun,
goo.
Dave.
Duh.
Okay. Small factoid about me growing up. Didn't have cable.
Neither did I.
Didn't have
Neither did I. I still know about it.
I've never heard of that.
Same.
friends because you had friends.
Alex
never
Mack.
Oh, we had
M-A-C-K.
friends.
I didn't have friends.
Alex
Yeah.
Mack.
Alex Mack.
All right. Well,
Tracy was giving me serious Grimes vibes. Like she had on Rick's murder jacket, that little plaid shirt she had on underneath looked just
Oh,
like
sure.
something we've seen Judith wear. She had cowboy boots on. She's got Carl's hair.
the bowl cut. Yeah.
All she needed was a cowboy hat.
Well,
when-
did you
when
get
she was-
did you get the same reaction to her that I did? That she kind of resembled Alicia.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yes,
she-
I was.
I'm
I'm
screaming at
not
my
crazy.
TV.
You guys were saying
No, I was. No, I was screaming
With
at
the
the TV.
face.
I'm like, watch this be Alicia's kid. And then when she meets Madison, I was like, Madison, that's your granddaughter. Say hey.
Now, I don't think that she is, but at the same time, since I heard it when I first saw her face, I'm like,
You know what? At this point, why not?
Sure,
why
sure.
the heck not? Just why not?
I mean, they're setting up Alicia to be like the miracle Virgin Mary anyway. So let's just go for it. Just make this is the promised one. This is Laurent's counterpart in the U.S. We've got Laurent over in France, and we've got Tracy here in the U.S.
it's a far
I mean,
cry.
It's the same thing.
All right. Well, I
Like,
wanted to.
I love Tracy when she was when she was with Strand and Strand was trying to BS Madison, and Tracy's like, he pulled my blindfold off.
That was definitely one of my favorite parts.
Yes,
She's great.
girl.
So Tracy and Troy are, other than June, they're probably my favorite characters on the show, and it's because they have expert Madison troll level. Like they trolled the
And
crap
Victor.
out of her.
I mean, really.
They trolled the crap out of her. I love it, both of them.
I have a question.
Okay.
For you guys. It didn't come to me until my second watch through the episode, but so Tracy mentions Troy being her dad, but nothing she said has been overwhelmingly positive in my opinion. Do you think she actually even wants to be with Troy, or was her mother killed potentially by Troy's people and he's like, "You're my daughter now."
I actually thought as I was watching this really good episode that because she says at the end of the episode, she says something to the effect of, "No one's gone till they're gone is what got my mother killed," which means I believe my daddy. And so I was thinking to myself, okay, it doesn't matter whether she is or she isn't Troy's actual biological kid, right?
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying, Dave. Like, I don't care about that. Like, adoption is a real thing, and it's a real thing in the show.
Right? No, I'm
But-
not disagreeing. I'm just saying that I think she's really proud of her daddy and his philosophy, in which we got to see a little bit more of in this episode.
I'm not firmly convinced that it's Troy, though.
Oh, you think it's like Russell?
No, like I think that maybe she knew her dad when she was really young and that Troy killed her parents
So
and
you,
that now she's like been taken by Troy. I don't necessarily think that because she says stuff like, "Oh, my dad will do anything to protect me." It didn't sound positive necessarily.
but it didn't sound like she was against it either.
She said it like she has seen him do stuff
Right.
to protect her.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't think that necessarily means that I don't
Well,
know.
I
I
mean,
don't I don't know
it
that she likes
apparently
him. Do you understand what
he
I'm trying to
chopped
say?
her mom's arm off and
No.
threw her out in the herd, so I can't believe that was super great for her to see. Because I
Right?
mean, do you
Well,
think her mom didn't have an arm before that? I'm pretty sure he whacked her arm off and then threw her out in the
there's
herd.
more to there's more to Tracy than we know because the St. Christopher medal, she keeps rubbing it. So there's something else to this story. This can't be it. Like if this is it,
Do you do you
I
think
don't
I
think.
quit.
I
If
don't think
this is
that's
it,
it.
if this is it for her story, that doesn't make any
There's
sense.
do
too
you
many
think
tells that there's more to the story. There's
yeah,
so.
Yeah.
I
But
think she's his daughter though.
one of them I believe I don't know that that's really Troy's daughter. And I mean like
Well,
not biologically, I don't care about
but
any of that. I
okay,
mean like
Can we
I
keep
think
going
he
down
just
this?
took her.
okay, but
Can we
but
go?
wait,
Okay.
because it's how she's been raised, right? If she's been raised with a frickin' psychopath, then that's how she's gonna behave. Like there is maybe there's not a lot of love there. You know what I mean? So how would she know what love is? If Troy is her dad and her mom died, maybe her mom was the only place she got any kind of affection, and Troy she didn't. So maybe he's her dad, and she's with him because he's her dad, but he's probably not the most loving, caring, nurturing father.
Right. But if that's all
Okay.
So
she
so
knows,
that's what she knows.
right? That's what you're saying. Okay. So
Yeah.
I was even thinking to Bridget. Let's go with your theory. Then there is this interesting mirror between Troy and Madison because just like Madison, Troy was snatching up at least a baby and making it and trying to give it a better life than Madison's philosophy, which purportedly killed her mother. Let's just throw that out there. So there's a
Well,
little bit of a
okay.
mirror of Troy and Madison looking into the same mirror and seeing something in each other.
Let me frame it in a slightly different way. So
No,
maybe
I know I'm believing you. I'm just taking it
well,
a
I
narrative
want to
step
frame it
further.
in a slightly different way so that maybe it makes sense.
Mm.
Maybe Troy was with them because like we don't know if Troy is legitimately the dad or if she was pregnant before she met Troy. We don't know like the timeline of how long Troy has been around with this girl. Technically she saved him, but like we don't know. Anyway, we don't really know the real true backstory. So let's say that they were together, but let's say much like he does, he got her killed and Tracy holds some sort of animosity towards him. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think that she
Oh,
wants to go back to him.
I see. I don't know. I
I
didn't.
don't think she wants to be with people who kidnapped her,
Mm.
but I don't know that she wants to go back to him. That's
S-
what I'm trying to say.
Going back to the Iron Tiger, do you think she was just looking at the trucks, the semi trucks, because she thought it was cool, like the other kid said, or she was trying to get away from him?
I think she was trying to get away from him.
Okay.
This is see, this is what like I don't know that this is real, and I don't like to theorize, but
No, but
there was just something in it that made me feel like, why would you run out? What are you like? Why are you hiding when they're calling for you? Because Strand hadn't left at that point. He found her in the wilderness, right? So I assume she was a little bit further out. So there's all of this stuff that's happened that I'm like, do you want to go back with him? Or are you
But
trying to
she
get
did
like
she
rid of
did
him
grab
too?
the radio and tell him where she was.
Okay, true. Okay, true.
Yep.
All right, fair.
And every
Okay,
every
fair, fair, fair.
emotional beat and excuse she makes for her father seems like she's really, really defending him. But maybe you're right. Maybe that's her way of. I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying let's just take your theory on the merits. She could just be getting in their heads to make them believe that she's getting in their heads so that she wouldn't take them back to him. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
There's just something weird about that relationship, and I don't think we have the full story.
And I think we're going to get a little bit more of that in the next episode from what I've seen. So, but, well, let's take a pause and read what everybody said, in the meantime because it's a lot of funny stuff that I'll edit out now. Okay. Everybody's talking about Virgos. I don't believe in that shit. Anyway, astrology. Anyway, womp womp. It sums up it all perfectly. Well done, Rach. Your sound effects, AJ Abbott. Walking Dead Turtle. To me, this episode was a blah episode. Disagree, but I'm in the minority. AJ Abbott. She was saved by Kevin Costner, and she took her to his cornfield to play baseball. G. Wilson says, "Hey, all, hope you're doing well." Carranza says, "Rachel spitting facts." Also, go Queen. G. Wilson's now Dave. The ones who talk, Takira. I think my biggest issue is the damn fight between Troy and his people happening off screen. Ah, okay. That's fair. I want to get to that and what you said before, Sharon. So hold that thought. Takira says, like, WTF, that makes sense. Walking Dead Eternal says, and there was Tracy running too? Question mark. G. Wilson says, Bridget and her theatrics are amazing. David Carranza says, my biggest issue was how disjointed the episode felt, though it had its moments. Cry emoji, sparkles. I definitely agree with that, and that's basically what I want to comment on, along with Sharon D's comment. The ones Takira says it was extremely disjointed, nothing made sense. G. Wilson says, if you want my personal opinion, feel like more happened here than the last one, but it still kind of felt convoluted. AJ says the only reaction to this episode is just dead, uncomfortable silence. Yeah, from two people at least. Takira says the uncomfortable silence sums up pretty well. Laughing, Poppy Dave, I love you, but no. Takir says, just bust out laughing Sharon D. The trolling. Gio says, the fan service in the episode was probably the biggest eye roll moment of the episode, and someone who isn't an Alicia fan, it didn't help me personally. Okay, I disagree, and we'll get to that. Franza says the writer seriously took acid. AJ said they brought back Madison that hates children. Apparently, she went from counseling them to kidnapping them to wanting to bash their head open. I actually kind of like that. But anyway, Takir says, I do too, Sharon D. Walking Dead Trail says, I'm going to be honest, if I see Alicia as a walker, I'm going to be sad and riot. Yeah, we talked about that actually in the DM, I think. Takir says, I'm going to flip the F out and see if I see Alicia as a walker or not at all. AJ says he got out because he needed to deliver that line about Mo being a gift from Athena to make Grace depressed. Kronza says, you never know with these writers. The season is pissing me off so much. Well, Takir says, I'll be here until the end. Kronza says, Thomas... Finally. Hi, Thomas. It made total
Hi,
sense.
Thomas.
Nonsense. Wait, is Thomas the only one who's on my side? Anyway, probably not.
He's being sarcastic.
I know. Takir says, even with decent people have the most horrific writing. Even the decent episodes have the most horrific writing. AJ says, I feel like the writers of this show would do a great job with preschool books. We've said that before. Walking Dead Eternal. To me, the best parts of the season was Morgan and Mo. Oh. G. Wilson says 8 must be an unlucky number for TV shows now, considering the Game of Thrones season got so much crap and now fear. Takir says, agreed, Jermaine. Thomas says, and now Madison is going to travel 1,200 miles to Texas and try to find Walker Alicia.
Okay, stop there, because that was one of the things that made me so mad, but also one of my favorite moments when Lucy was like, yeah, I got people who are breathing I need to worry about. Madison. Why? She's dead. Everybody says she's dead. If you were that worried about her, you should have gone to look for her after the stadium, or after you were rescued, or after anything, instead of waiting, what has it been, 7, 8, 12 years or something now, and now she's all worried about finding Alicia? Shut up and stay and fix your mess, instead
She
of
cares more
creating
about her
this
daughter now
chaos
that she's dead than
and
she
then
did when she was
bouncing off
alive.
to find your dead daughter so you can put her to rest. Shut up.
Wait,
Well,
hold
now
on.
Nick-
Let's
now
straighten
Nick
this
is
out
dead
for a
and she
second.
knows. Now Nick is dead and she knows, so she can finally pay attention to Alicia.
Oh,
Who's dead?
snap. Shots fired.
I'm gonna call it like I see it.
Hold on. Now, let's straighten one thing out. Do you think so? Is that where you think that Madison is going? She's going to find Alicia right now by the end of the episode? Because I got the impression she was going after Troy. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
No, I'm talking about that's what she did in this episode, was just fart off and leave everybody to
looking
deal with
for-
her
yeah.
crap.
Yeah, but you
Dragged
remember.
everybody, took everybody to the truck stop so that Troy would find him there, and then she farted off to go find dead Alicia while she should have stayed there and fixed her mess. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but just like Dwight in the last episode, the more she gets involved, the more people get hurt. So she figured, all right, I'm gonna just do my own thing. No?
And then she took Daniel with her. That's how. No, no, no. That's just no, no,
Well,
no.
no, that was definitely
She
not a good
wanted.
move.
She's more worried about finding her dead daughter and putting her to rest with Nick than she is about worrying about alive people. That
Well,
she created the situation they're in.
but she
She's
decided,
gonna start a war and then piss off.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Like, all right, everybody, fight my war.
but I get where she's coming from. If everything, it's the same headspace that Dwight was in the last episode. If everything you do ends up making things worse, then what else is there to do?
Then she should have died
But-
in the diamond.
But Dwight didn't start a war.
It's not an answer.
Dwight didn't turn everybody's world upside down and then just piss off and leave them to deal with it. Dwight had his own business he ran away from. He didn't start this whole big mess and then leave to go find a dead person.
Well, I mean, those two things are separate things too, aren't they? Like, okay, I'm not going to make this worse, so I'm going to leave so that Troy doesn't attack Padre for my sake, for the sake of trying to get at me. If I leave this situation, it instantly gets better for everybody at
But
Padre.
that's not why she left. That's not.
That's why she
She
left.
left because she wants to find Alicia.
No, that's what
It
I'm
has
trying to
nothing
tell
do
you.
with saving everybody.
That's what I'm trying to
else.
tell you. No, they're two separate things. One, she left because she ends up making everything worse, and she recognized it. She literally got Charlie killed, and she was guilt stricken. She's like, I can't do this anymore. I keep thinking I'm going to make things better, and I end up making things worse. Then she's like, let's kill some walkers, which I thought was a really cool sequence with Motley Crue's Livewire. And then she hears that she can get her daughter's remains too,
Yes.
as well as Nick's. What, you thought so too?
Well, I love Motley Crue, so I was really upset.
Oh, not
She was
Madison.
yes singing
Killing
music.
walkers. Anyway, but my point is, okay,
Yeah.
what else does she have? She's
Crazy
just
how she went through that whole thing without needing her oxygen.
Right. She's got.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
did you
Actually,
guys
that's kinda
not
cool.
know?
She's
She
got
had to hit her
selective
oxygen
smoke
one
damage.
time in this episode just to remind you
Just once.
that the writers didn't forget that she has it. It's okay.
And it was so
just
dramatic
once.
too. It was such a dramatic. It was like pause and then
I
And
guess
it wasn't
doesn't.
even after like exerting herself in any way.
You know
It
what?
was purely for dramatic effect.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I have an answer to that, but it almost even doesn't
course
matter.
you do.
No, it almost
you
even
do.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you guys are not going to appreciate it, and that's maybe you're
Look.
onto something with that.
look, she is a selfish. She's
I don't think
selfish.
she is.
I
don't-
have been
selfish.
saying this since
And
season
I
one.
said this at the end of last week when she just took off and left everybody, because that's what June said. I mean, Sherry said when they went to get Dwight. You know, she started this mess and then she just left, and now we're left holding the bag, having to deal with Strand and Troy, who is there for Madison, not for any of them. He can say Padre all he wants, but he's there to mess with Madison.
We have to tackle that in a separate, because that's
But
a very
instead
interesting
of her
conversation.
staying and dealing with her past, Victor and Lucy are the only other ones that know Troy, but they're not the ones. They're now everybody else is having to deal with him.
And to
she
your
just
point,
left.
everybody has a different reaction to that too. But most of them agree that they want to, even with Lucy knowing about Troy, she says, give that girl back to Troy to avoid further issues. Eventually, everybody comes to that conclusion too, even though they don't know Troy. But Lucy, knowing Troy, says, give that guy back. Daniel's the only one who steps in and says, don't give that girl back. But
Oh,
his
wait a
agenda is
minute.
different, though.
Wait a minute. Let's talk about that too.
We're going all
Whoa,
over the
whoa, whoa, whoa.
place. But I wanted to read the rest of the comments, though, first.
Okay.
Because honestly, we're bouncing from topic to topic. But
I mean, just like this episode did. So
yeah, we're just following. suit.
Agreed.
it works.
Agreed. Okay. So Takir says, I feel bad that they're actually being forced to say these horrible lines. AJ says, Strand, like, memorize this lighthouse, Tracy. Sure. Let me memorize the one specific lighthouse I saw for 2 seconds. To your point. Bridget, what's your paint bucket cup? Where's your paint bucket cup? Get it. Walking Dead Eternal says, the funniest thing is that Daniel said, there's something fundamentally wrong with you. But, and then Madison said it in this line. Anyway, I thought it was funny. Takir says, oh my God, Madison said that to Daniel. Was like, pot calling the kettle black much? Like, yeah, that was the whole point, Takira. Jeez Louise. G. Wilson's, as much of an a-hole Tracy kind of was in this episode, she's leagues ahead of Dakota. Yes, I agree. What do you guys think?
I like
The
Tracy.
audio podcast can't hear your nodding.
I like Tracy.
Yep.
She's like I like she's a little spitfire. Like I want her to be. Let's make her the star of the next spinoff. I'm down with that because she's a cool little kid.
I'm Team Tracy.
Yep.
Tracy Otto. Takira says the secret world of what? Oh, Alex Mack. Okay, Dave Grounds is laughing. Every show, Thomas says every show should have character cosplayers. Alicia cosplayers saving the world. We need writer cosplayers.
See, trolling,
What?
trolling. You guys want to you Alicia stands? We got Alicia stands in the show. They managed to write that in there.
Okay, Jason Cohn. Interesting factoid. It's funny that they use the lighthouse as a reference point. In real life, it's just down the river from the location used as Padre.
Actually, the lighthouse was also kind of a callback to 7-1 because that's where Strand and Will went when they went to look for Alicia. Was at
In the
the
beacon.
lighthouse that was in the middle of the park in the middle of a land.
That was fun.
That's cool.
That's
Okay.
fun. That was a fun factoid.
Anyway, that was just a little. Look at the lighthouse. Remember the lighthouse. Good
Remember,
luck finding it in all these channels of weeds and swamps and reeds and rushes. I mean, good luck finding it again, but okay.
well, David
Just
Carranza
like a random lighthouse in the middle of the water. But what direction do you go from there?
Anyway, David Cron says I did not mind the Alicia posse. Somebody finally doesn't
No.
mind something.
That was the dumbest thing.
Was that the dumbest thing, Charity?
Yes.
Or that was the
Yes.
dumbest thing?
The Alicia cosplayers was the. How cool would it have been for Sarah to step down out of SWAT?
Oh my goodness.
Right? Right?
G. Wilson says, didn't Tracy say her mother was a walker that almost bit Madison? Yes. David Cron
God,
says,
what a disappointment. She didn't get bitten.
David
How
Cron
poetic would that have been?
David Cronza says, but it was really random. LMOOO. Takira says, at this point, they destroyed the whole show to the point that she might as well be Tracy's mom. He's got it going on. AJ Abbott says, if Tracy ends up being Alicia's daughter after all this I will buy the season on DVD just to burn it. Thomas says, they said there will be a major character death in the finale. I wonder if it'll be on screen or off. Ooh, shots fired. Takira says, oh, this is fear. It'll be off screen. Never mentioned. Oh, actually, it'll be mentioned in dialogue repeatedly and plainly.
And they
In
will.
detail.
It'll be because they wouldn't let Strand help them.
Again.
Yep.
Thomas says, Bridget, you watched this crap twice? Everybody's laughing at Thomas.
Thomas, the sacrifices we make for you guys. That's all I'm gonna say. The
I'm fine.
sacrifices we have to make.
I thought this episode was brilliant. Takir says the way that I just screamed. I'm seriously not trolling. I really did enjoy this episode. Okay, Takir says the way I screamed the what when he said really good.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really good at everybody else laughing. AJ says she's missing a hammer-shaped hole in the side of her head. Maybe Madison will fix that. Laughing. I'll protect you, David. But this episode was. David Kronza says, the ones who talk. Takira says, Bridget, I'm snatching my glasses off with you. This is it for her story because the writers suck. Bridget, that was Thomas. Thomas says also, Bridget, you haven't answered me. You really watch this crap twice? Really rather wash my testicles with a cheese grater. It's a lemon zester. Karanza says,
No. Nope.
it'll hurt more. Karanza says, also, I thought Tracy was Alicia's, but I have no clue after this episode. Yeah. And it probably doesn't even matter. Thomas says, I don't think any of the actors want to go back to anyone in this. Thomas says also, and how the F did Alicia get the MRAP? It was left very far away. 7 years. She might have gotten it.
Alicia died off screen and she bequeathed it to her. I mean, I'm sorry. Althea died off screen and she bequeathed it to her in her will. So that's how she got the MRAP.
And it wasn't that far down the road because one of the Alicia cosplayers say we showed up to the tower as it was still burning. And then they got the MRAP.
Okay.
So
And it
it
wasn't
wasn't
that far
away,
like
'cause
years
that's where
down
my
the road or
favorite
anything.
scene
And they went back and
How-
forth 3 times in that episode.
Why did they not get in the MRAP and drive away instead of getting on rafts and floating to Florida? I guess that's what they did. I don't know. I mean,
They didn't have the
geography.
keys.
But
Somebody did.
why didn't they get in the MRAP and drive away if that's what they could do? You think Alicia was trying to
saved
ditch
these
everybody?
people.
Alicia was like, God, I am sick of you people. Get away from me. I'm gonna go start my own band of Alicia cosplayers, and we're gonna go out and be like Robin Hoods or something.
Honestly, I think that
let
Shared her whole
you may be
wardrobe.
onto something on that with that one though. That it was time for her to move on. I think that's what Alicia was trying to do.
well, she's pretty rude about it. All you fuckers get on rafts and float away. Bye. Just
Well,
float down the river.
And to be fair, nobody really knew. Okay, if you remember the events of season 7, part of what Morgan had found was that at least where they were on the water, that was a clear path or sort of way out of the fallout. So
Typical Morgan, just always clearing.
it was like the only thing I'm remembering this so clearly. It was like the only thing you kind of liked because it meant that he would eventually leave the show as well. Like, oh, he's still around for a couple episodes in season 8. Damn it. Anyway, Jermaine says, oh, sorry, Takir says, I've watched every Walking Dead show at least twice, no matter what, until Fear 8B. Okay. Grunz says the Bachelor was better than this episode, Dave. I don't even, the senior Bachelor show. Anyway, Thomas says in the finale they're all going to see Taylor Swift's Eras tour. I don't know who's Taylor Swift. G. Wilson says, not gonna lie, Sharon, I kind of agree. I get Madison's love for her daughter, but after the season 7 finale, when she told Morgan she didn't want to look for her, that told me all I needed to know. Thomas says she's not coming from anywhere. She's dead. This is all a dream, which somebody said.
No. We will not Dallas. We will never Dallas.
It's not the Bob
Stop.
Newhart show, which shout out to Seth LaRusso for saying, well, let's let the audience vote that it was all a dream and John and June will wake up in the cabin. I'm like, no,
I'm down. I'm totally down with that.
I'm down with that,
Down
but
with
it's
that,
not.
I think.
It's not the show. It's not how it works. We have to suffer for our happy ending.
June,
and
June
maybe
wakes
not.
up and John is in the shower. And John is Bobby Ewing.
I dreamt you were dead.
You're so silly.
Someone shot you, JR.
AJ says,
Junior, John Dory Jr. You got it.
or Junior. Oh, when they wake. Oh, I'm gonna add a little nugget to your dream sequence.
We can write. We're better writers. Why didn't we write the show? Because this is the ending.
And
I'm
I
now
just
thinking.
ripped off Dallas.
Terrible.
That's all that just happened.
Terrible. Thomas says she left because she saw the next couple scripts and finally realized they're crap. Jason Cohn says, finally some info instead of shade. I'm a little sad about this episode. It's still shade. I filmed the standoff scene when the trucks pull into the gas station. We jump out. We draw M16s on Madison and Strand. My position didn't make the final edit. Still had a blast on set that day, though.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, Jason. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
listen,
I'm so sorry to hear
It's
that.
awesome you were there.
It's
and
awesome
I'm
you were
pissed
there.
that it got cut.
Yeah.
when I met you, you had nothing but great things to say about this, though. And it sounded like you had a ton of fun. And I kind of wished I was there.
Again,
jealous.
Listen, we're never complaining about you ever
Right.
when we talk
Again,
about
like we
our
said,
complaints.
our
We love you.
complaints lie.
Actors
I think
are
you can tell.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love the actors, and we think like cast and crew all did a fantastic job.
Don't
This
speak for me.
is
The writing's
amazing.
brilliant this episode.
Crickets.
Okay, I took it a little far.
Crickets.
I took it a little far on that one. I'm sorry. Okay, Takir says,
You
laugh
couldn't
mask.
even get through that with a straight face.
I really didn't mind this episode. There's a lot
Don't
of
backtrack now. You said it.
there's a lot of good things about this episode, especially the dialogue
the
in some
end.
spots.
The ending
way
credits.
the way they say the
surely you
words
jest,
were great.
Surely
No,
you
I'll get
jest,
into it.
sir.
I'll get into it. Okay. AJ says she's got the backpack from the Dora the Explorer or something. We know she's got the map that tells her where everyone is because everyone seems to find each other unrealistically fast. Karan says, I also appreciate the Motley Crue scene. I see. Thank you. Correct. Thank you. Thomas says, Bridget, did you really watch
Yeah,
the dumpster
Motley
fire
Crue.
twice? You just don't answer him. It's fine. AJ says, to quote Dwight, sounds like the Madison's problem. And Luciana, by the way, too. AJ says Tracy versus Judah spin-off series. Yeesh. I don't want to see that.
I actually read an
I wanna see
article
that.
where they were saying that Judith and Tracy were going to be the next generation of good and evil in the Walking Dead universe.
They could share a closet though because of their
But
outfits.
they're both
They really
Grimes.
could.
They're
S-
both Grimeses.
Thomas says spin-off of this crap? Question mark exclamation question mark explanations. Can't wait until Ian and Andrew get to run another show. Yay. AJ says Alicia cosplays fresh out of Comic-Con. Can I have your autograph, Madison?
Okay, so
Points,
for real,
points, points.
that scene made me think of Terminator when Kyle meets Sarah Connor for the first time and he's all starstruck because it's John Connor's mom. That was exactly how I felt when they met Madison. I'm like, oh my god, Madison's supposed to be Sarah Connor.
She was so rude to them too.
And they did not mind for some reason.
I don't know.
Thank you,
love you
Madison. May I have
anyway.
another?
She was so rude, and then she steals their car.
I know. That was the part that I was like, whoa.
They're like,
Who
we'll
stole
stay,
their
we'll
car?
stay and protect.
That
Padre,
kinda
'cause
tracks
that's
though,
what
doesn't
Alicia
it?
wanted. My favorite line. Are you ready? My favorite line.
Like legitimately or like
No.
Of
course not. Of course not. Nothing's legitimate.
When Strand said, "I thought you were," and she goes, "Alicia Clark." I get that a lot. From who?
From
From,
everybody.
from who?
Okay, that
I
was
get that a
that
lot.
was a little sus. Yeah. Yeah. That was a little
That's like
sus.
when you give yourself a nickname and you're like, well, my friends call me this, and your friends are like, no, we don't.
No,
You're like,
no one
yeah,
told
people
you
have been
that.
calling me that.
Guys,
People have been calling me
guys,
that.
people do.
It's a very good name. Some are saying it's the best name.
Guys. Anyway, Takir says I finally figured out who I would be in the apocalypse with the Alicia cosplayers. I could see it. G. Wilson says I wonder how everyone who brings up Strand getting that family killed in S7 are going to react to Troy harming the families at the ranch in S3 and Madison almost killing Tracy and Daniel allowing it. So she's talking about the cosplayers, right? I think they've kind of heard and everything, really. They were there when they were about to kill Tracy, were Daniel and they still were like, "Whoa, we're big fans, Madison."
All right, biggest character assassination of the show, right there. You just said it, Daniel.
No,
Daniel,
I don't.
Madison.
I don't think so.
Madison, I'm gonna kill this little girl. Daniel, like, all right, here you go.
Let me tie
Have
let me
at
tie
it.
her up for
Not
you.
even
Kill
that.
her.
He's like, he's so judgmental during. He's like, you sure got the stomach for that?
But I
Which
think
did
you think that's a
crack me up.
character. I think it's quite an interesting choice though, especially for Daniel, whom befriended Charlie, saw her as a second daughter. Lucy also, sure, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about what would be the thing that makes him break bad, essentially. And if you weigh these two things down, Daniel was traumatized as a child, saw the bodies of children floating down the river. He has no problem killing. He's used to it. And so if it meant getting back at Troy, he would do it for the sake of
But
Ophelia's
I
death.
do not see
I-
Daniel. I don't see Daniel of now.
I think it's
our
interesting.
Daniel. I do not think that Daniel would kill a little girl for the sins of her father.
I think he was doing it. And I think
I don't
Daniel-
think he would. If that was the case, he would have killed Charlie way back when they sent her into a spy in his car.
It's
Why-
oppositional
why
would
to
he-
his own story arc, Dave, because if we go all the way back to season 3, he did not want Ophelia to be like him.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
He wanted the opposite. That would be as though people were judging Ophelia based on his sins. That's not ever what he wanted for her.
Right.
So
That,
it's like counterintuitive to his entire story arc, like going all the way back to the beginning. Like, yes, is this reminiscent of the type of attitude he used to have? Sure,
and
but
I'm-
it goes against
I
exactly what he
refuse-
believes.
I'm
I
only
refuse
filling
to
the-
believe-
I'm only
I
filling
refuse
that
to
in with
believe
the
that her
contract
smart-ass
killing.
remark. I refuse to believe that her smartass remark to him in the car about your daughter, blah blah. Madison got your daughter killed. I refuse to believe that was enough of a trigger to make Daniel kill a little girl.
Well, and saying that Ophelia was gonna like poison people, like she said that because that's what her dad told her.
Right, and Daniel
That
knows
she
that.
wasn't there for any of that. Exactly. Daniel knows that. Daniel knows that. And I think Daniel would have no problem killing Troy with a smile on his face. But I don't see him murdering his child out of vengeance. Yes, we know Daniel is capable of like gruesome things, but it was for a purpose, not because he found enjoyment out of it.
No, it was for a purpose, and the purpose is to make Troy suffer.
Well,
But I don't.
I'm saying his past, like what he did
I
in the past,
right. Daniel's grown
didn't
from
bring him
that.
enjoyment.
Daniel has grown from that. He's not that person anymore. So I just
Right.
don't. I do not. I see that as the biggest character assassination on this show of this episode.
And he's not going
And
to make a
he
child
didn't
pay
even
for their father's
try to
sins.
stop Madison. Not only did he not try, he was like, "Here you go, take her, let it bite her. Don't worry about it."
But it does make Victor right about what he was suspecting about Daniel.
And then she runs away and she's like, "My dad was right. They just tried to kill me." So I mean, can you blame her?
Well, and the irony is,
I don't know.
the
how she's
reason
gonna
why
run
they
all the
ran
way back
away,
to
the reason why,
Savannah, but
sorry, the reason why they ran away was initially because Victor has suspected that June Atal would kill her, which I'm not convinced of, but it ends
that
up.
was the other thing. No, they weren't gonna hurt
Mm-mm.
that kid.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Ugh.
That's. But going back to what I was going to say was that the interesting thing is he ends up driving her to the exact people he shouldn't have, Daniel and Madison, whom end up being the people that would kill her, and are capable of killing her. I think. I just find the choice very interesting because, to me, people backsliding into their past is totally believable. But Madison going the extra mile, I didn't like it, but given some of the things that we were saying about how we were saying about her being the villain that nobody's gonna like by the end of this, I kind of liked it, and I kind of dug it.
I wasn't surprised at all by Madison.
I
Nothing
was,
she
though.
does.
That's why I
If
liked
there
it.
are two choices, if there's two choices and this is the right thing and this is the wrong thing, Madison's always going to do the wrong thing, and I'm never surprised by that. But I don't think killing a child is Daniel going back to anything.
No,
I
no.
mean, when has he ever killed a child
So no,
maliciously?
I wanted to clarify that. What I meant by that is that I don't think it's outside his comfort zone per se, but I do think what's in his comfort zone is vengeance, and I do think that
Well, he's
I do think that
capable.
and I think given a push, he might be. Oh, thank you, Bridget. Can you agree with me on something?
Well, he
Take
is capable. He is
Yeah.
a killer. We know this.
right, but given a
Right.
push by the right person
I'm not
and the right
arguing that.
reason.
What I'm arguing is that I don't think that he would kill a child because it
Right.
would be like killing Ophelia.
Right.
I think he's not seeing that in the moment, and I think that's totally realistic. Don't
Well,
you?
I guess that I'm not wrapping my head around that. Like Ophelia was literally just brought up. So why would she not be fresh in his mind?
I see, and I think that's because he's misinterpreting the signals. I think there's a part of him that isn't thinking about the virtues of what he was trying to impart on Ophelia. Don't be like me. He's thinking that man is responsible for her dying, and I gotta
So
get
I'm gonna kill his daughter
just to make him suffer, which he says.
Those dots don't connect to me.
It would be more believable to me if Daniel just stole her and was like, "I'm gonna raise you to be a decent person."
Ye-
Like
Yeah.
that to me, like
Yeah.
checks out.
Yeah.
more.
Him stealing her and taking her back to Padre, and letting her be raised up among regular kids and
Yeah.
regular people, I could see that. But letting Madison the kid get bitten, and no, I don't see that. I don't see that.
I
at
do.
all.
I do. I don't know. Maybe this is
Okay.
like something where we have
Here,
to disagree.
I want
agree
to. I want
disagree.
to play a game then. I want to play a
Okay.
game. Dave,
Mhm.
will you please justify to me then
Mhm.
the very first scene of this episode? Because right out the gate, this is actually why I didn't like this episode. Because I am tired of this same story arc again and again and again. We're against Strand. Strand's the worst. Blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
okay.
I actually hated the dialogue that June delivered. I don't hate June, but you've got to be joking. One, y'all don't even know Troy. You've literally never met him. He was dead as far as you knew. So you are not the authority on what he would and would not do. Why don't you trust someone who's actually met him? Someone who, by the way, you haven't seen in 10 years. And then yet, when you're on a boat, you're like, oh, Troy can't change, but you can? You just said he didn't change.
I loved all of those things. I loved all of it because they don't trust Victor for crap because Victor was the one who put them through hell.
And I mean,
They
just like June
established that in
said,
Anton
she's
too.
she stood
Again,
there and she was there at the tower while he threw people off the tower
right.
and made every bad decision that led to the tower's downfall, which cast them all out and caused them to be where they're at now.
So of course she doesn't believe them.
But my biggest issue with that speech was when June said, or when Victor threw it back in her face that, you know, you had people die too the first time we met you. There's a slight difference between June leaving to go find her daughter medicine and her daughter turning and killing people, and Victor actively throwing people off the roof of a tower. Like that comparison, no, Victor, no, you were wrong there. That was completely wrong.
But that establishes the theme of this episode, which took me a while to find. And it's literally what Victor says with Tracy in the woods as they meet Madison. The truth lies somewhere in between. And you can see that all the way down the line as people are arguing against each other about second chances and making good come out of something bad. And what I liked about that dialogue is it makes everybody right, but also not everybody not right as well. Everybody's done something. Even when he's delivering the line about, what was it? Hold on a second. He was saying something to the effect of,
Hold on, Dave has 5 pages of notes to go through.
he says everybody has done something, and he looks at Dwight, and Dwight kind of looks down a little bit. Yeah, he killed so many in the name of Negan. So it's like everybody has done something, and yes, you're right. Obviously, you're right. Victor has obviously done horrendous things, which makes this episode great because the chickens come home to roost. When it comes time to really tell people, to Bridget, in response to what you were saying, Bridget, when it comes time to say, hey, I know this guy, he's a psychopath. He's like, no, but you're a psychopath. No, I have issues. It's different. But still, at the same time, it's believable to me for people to say, no, you don't get a second chance.
That line
Not
was
after what
funny.
you
It's
did.
not
That
it's
line
not that,
was
Dave.
funny.
It's not that. What bothers me about this
I
is
know, I
why
like
are
that.
we doing this again? Why are we doing this
What is
again?
this, though?
Why is he the villain again? I don't understand. How are we going this route again? This is so stupid. We just did this.
Okay. So are you asserting that Victor is being villainous in this episode though? Because
I
I'm
don't
not
think
sure.
No, I
Victor's the
don't
villain.
think he is.
But
But
they do.
everyone is treating him that way.
That
And
Because
it's
they don't
almost like the
trust him.
writing is like, here, let's
Well-
make Victor the villain again.
Because they don't. Well, I mean, I can see
To
where they're
them.
coming from because he is a villain to them. He did
yes,
royally screw them over. Now, for
I'm
us,
just
the
like,
audience,
Can we
it would be less
us, I mean,
believable
move
if they
on from
did
this,
believe him.
though?
No, it would
Right.
be less believable if they did believe him and decided to give him a second chance. To me, I thought it was
I
great
totally
that they
get where
didn't.
they're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get where they were coming from, but I don't think Victor is the villain of this.
No, I don't think so either.
Of this at all. I don't think villain is a bad guy in this at all. Is he making bad decisions again? Possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's going on. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't learn from his past bad decisions, but this time instead of making decisions because he needs to impress or not impress Alicia, I never really understood what was going on there in season 7. But this time he's doing it because he's trying to protect something,
Right.
you know, instead. So, I mean, I totally get that. I totally understand that. Their
I'm-
response.
No, I think this is baffling. This is baffling to me. This is
What
baffling to me.
what
Like,
is baffling
I'm sorry,
about it,
but because why are we doing this again? Like, this is so stupid. There are so many other things to talk about in this show, and yet this is what we're spending like 15 minutes on at the beginning of the episode. Is this again?
Okay, there's a reason for that though. Because it really does go to what June says in the boat. You deserve a second chance and Troy doesn't. This is one thing that I noticed and we said this a little bit about him in Anton, because I feel like they're going to get to this point where, like, do we trust him or do we not? Has Troy actually maybe changed? And maybe the version that we're seeing on screen right now is him doing a sort of, is him sort of doing sort of Daniel backslide in this episode. Maybe every scene we see him in and doing all this crazy, dumb, sociopathic stuff.
That would make
No, I
that
don't.
would make sense if Troy didn't then immediately kill a bunch of people. So
No, but that's what
even
I'm
in this
saying.
episode, it undoes even the setup you're saying that if this is doing in the
But
future.
I mean, but in Troy's perspective, he's doing it because he needs a place to live and to be safe for his daughter. So
Right.
in his perspective, he's not killing people is what he has to do, just like everybody in our groups had to do to
Right.
survive and get safe places.
And
So I mean, I don't. Troy is like, we see him as the bad guy. Well, I mean, some people do. I actually think he's hilarious.
I
but
think he's a bad
some
guy too, but
people-
whatever. But
some people think he's the bad guy, but his motivations have changed because now he has a kid to care for.
right.
Just like Strand's motivations have changed because now he has a kid to care for. But and I mean, people, but if you've been scarred by these people, you're not going to understand that change or accept it possibly, especially if you're just coming up on them. You know, I mean, they knew Strand 7 years ago when he tortured them, basically tortured their existence and caused many of them to die. and
Psychologically,
created all these
physically.
problems.
Yeah.
So they are very upset at him, but he's changed because he found someone to love and care for. And the same things happened with Troy. Troy was a freaking psychopath, but he's changed because now he's found someone that he has to motivate him in a different way.
Right. The only difference is that we're not seeing that point of view. And I don't
Right,
mind that
well,
we don't. I
It's the
want
same
that to
thing
be
we've
the
always said
sleeper.
about Negan, right?
That's all
Same
right.
thing
Well,
we always
I
said about
disagree.
Negan,
I think
right?
this was garbage, but it's fine.
It's
Oh, I
okay.
mean, I agree
You
with
can
you.
still land on the same
It's
point.
bad. It's bad.
That's-
It's bad, and it's bad writing. And I'm tired of going over the same damn story over and over again. Move on. There's other stuff to talk about.
Well, I feel that way about the whole Strand Alicia thing. Like that was all of season 7 was I gotta
And 6 too.
I gotta uh, attract Alicia and or keep her away or want her to be proud of me or want her to, I don't know what the hell.
But it was the same complaint I
It
had
was
during
that's the
7.
same,
Why?
But he's doing the same thing here too. It's because it's what Alicia would want. Oh,
It's the same complaint I had during 7. One, that they undid all of the character development that had happened for that character in one fell swoop to be like, oh, he's the bad guy again. Remember, guys? Remember he's a con man? Remember? It's like, it's so depressing to watch. Like, what even happened? We're just right back at square one with every character.
Could that, let me hit on that. That I 100% agree with you on. It is depressing. It to me, what you're talking about is upsetting. The dialogue back and forth between June and Victor. Yeah, I know. The dialogue back and forth between June and Victor was upsetting. It was upsetting to see two characters whom Victor, I want a redemption for him too. Just to your point on the last episode. And also you were saying it about Madison when everybody was gone. But also with
I do want that for Madison, but I don't know.
no,
well,
but
clearly
everybody
we're not gonna
happened
get
to be
it.
not on the show when you said it. So I don't know if you believe it.
Oh no, I'll say it. I don't care. I do want that for Madison.
Her video
because
goes
I
out.
would like for once for her to do right by her freaking daughter.
Yeah, no,
And
I
what
agree.
does she do? She finally wants to do right by her daughter, and her daughter's dead. So what's the freaking
well,
point?
no,
Which
and
she
it's like,
says in this
let me-
episode. I have
do you
nobody
think
else left
Alicia-
to disappoint. And I liked
Does she
it.
really think Alicia would want her risking everything that they've been
No.
building to
No.
go find her and put her down? No, that's doing exact opposite of what Alicia would have wanted.
I don't think she cares. I don't think she cares. And I think that's real.
Yeah, because she's terrible.
I think that's real though. I think she is terrible. I think that's the thing. I think everybody is terrible though. Okay, hold on. Because this is going to get me sus. I think everybody has the capacity to be terrible. And I think people do terrible things, especially when they're
I agree
greedy.
with
Everybody-
you.
Everybody in the
Some
universe
more
does
than
terrible
others.
things. That's fine. That's fine. She's just a terrible person overall.
I agree to disagree, but I think she's being, but hitting on your point, I do think she's doing terrible things and increasingly terrible things. And I'll even go further. I think she's dragging everybody else down with her. Anybody that's within
Well,
reach.
she
I'm sorry.
self-sabotages.
Are you talking about
Madison.
Are you talking about the real show, or are you talking about the show or real life? Because Madison's definitely bringing the whole show down. Sorry.
Oh, our show?
Yeah. No,
No,
Our
I think it's
here.
Our show right now.
I don't
yeah,
know. I don't
it's
know.
really a downer.
No, but it is
Here.
depressing, but it's also compelling to me. There's something fascinating about watching this character implode, or sorry, explode, because again,
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
anybody in her vicinity is affected by this. It's okay. She's like you know how the dead bite or scratch or kill somebody and they come back and become undead also? Madison is doing that with people. Madison is doing that with Daniel. Daniel's like, "Hey, Madison, you sure you have the stomach for this?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to kill this kid." And I gotta tell you, there's something spooky about seeing a character go further down a hole. It's like I said in the last episode. I said our last coverage. I said, what's fascinating to me is what does Madison become? And it's brought up in this episode. What does Madison become when she has no one left to disappoint? But meaning without the kids she was meant to protect, to be that
Don't
for
worry,
those kids.
She's still disappointing plenty of people.
And so that's the thing. I think she's on a vicious. And again, you may not like this, and I think you're right, and I think you're right to not like this at all. But like for me, it's really compelling. It's really, really compelling. It's depressing, but it's compelling. But everybody's really upset.
I'm just so. I mean,
I
am.
I just wish
I'm so
mad.
Rachel's gonna
I'm
make
so-
sounds or no sounds.
I'm so.
I'm just. I wish I had a bucket of popcorn right now.
I'm so disgusted at how the show is gone, and I can't.
Mhm.
I really try not to get angry, and I really try to like every episode. I mean, I really do. I know you guys maybe don't believe me, but I really.
No, I
try
believe
to
you.
enjoy
I believe
every
you. Of course, I
episode.
believe you.
But it's just so bad.
Oh.
And I dealt with it, like whatever. People hated season 4 and 5, blah blah blah. I like seasons 4 and 5. Whatever. But now everybody hates it.
I don't
I mean,
hate it.
Everybody hates it.
I've been liking the
Everybody
last few
thinks it's
episodes. I like
garbage.
this episode.
It's like
I'm
it's
not
like,
everybody though.
I feel like we're all getting laughed at because we like this show.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's
I'm
how it
telling
feels.
people
Like,
I like
I'm an
this
idiot.
episode. Please.
I'm an idiot.
Say
And they're
the
like,
thing.
here, I'll spoon feed you this garbage, and you're
Yeah.
gonna take it.
That's-
I can't believe I'm even going to say this out loud, but I actually thought Strand had a point, and maybe Bridget is like on board with this. I think keeping Tracy at Padre was a great idea for all the reasons that he said. And from a viewer standpoint, I do agree with what Bridget's saying. Like we've seen this storyline, but also from a character standpoint, I can see why there is distrust for Strand. But at the end of the day, I think they should have still recognized that his plan was solid. Having Tracy there prevented an attack from this group of people. Giving her back, what is that going to accomplish
Not
by
only
giving
that,
her back?
but Rachel, they were willing to kill Strand over this.
Yeah, that escalated very quickly.
well,
I like that
very
a
quick.
lot.
They were turning him over again. They're still scarred. Like,
Yeah.
sure, they were able to put it behind him for 7 years because they didn't see him. What did we say about Maggie and Negan, right? She was able to put Negan behind her because she didn't see him for years and years and years. And then when she came back to Alexandria, and all of a sudden she's face to face with him, and all that crap comes back up. So that's what happened here. They haven't seen Strand in 7 years. For all they know, he's dead. Good riddance. Bye. See you later. And
I mean,
now
to
all of a
Maggie's
sudden
credit,
he's,
she didn't try to.
I feel like
kill
I started
Negan.
this, by the way.
but she would have. She would have. I mean, she wasn't against it, right?
Right.
So
No, she wasn't
so-
against it, but she.
So they
didn't
come. They all of a
orchestrate it
sudden
either.
here's Strand back in their lives, and everything is topsy turvy, and people are attacking them, and he's bringing kidnapped kids to their island, and so I totally get why they don't want him or her there. They just want him to. They just get out of here. Go away. I totally get why they don't.
Get
want
him out of
him.
here.
But didn't they agree to? I mean, when they were in the hotel, like
So
they all
they were-
agreed to take him in and move everyone at the hotel
Because
to
he had
Padre.
nowhere else to go. Because they had nowhere else to go.
And these
because
were
Joey
his
took
people,
over
too.
the-
So
Right.
was the plan always to invite him in and then kick him out?
But the
eventually.
plan wasn't to have him
No, but
be
they-
back in charge. That was the
Right,
thing.
right. He wasn't going to be in charge, and he wasn't going to bring this kid in there that would get them possibly attacked because Troy might attack to come get his kid back.
Right.
We gotta
And
find out where they are first.
and Victor ended up being right too. Right, because the lighthouse.
God,
But-
hopefully
but
he never comes across
as-
that lighthouse.
As far as willing to kill Strand over it, you know, turn him. You know what? Turn him over. If he's caused this problem and brought her here, let's give him back. If they've got a problem with him, because he would have done the same thing to us 7 years ago.
Right,
If
right.
they want to rally together and
think-
kill someone, it should be Madison.
I mean, I
think
totally
the-
100% agree with you.
But Madison extricated herself. That's what I
No,
wanted to hit
she
on.
left.
She
She
bounced.
dipped.
All the more reason to find her and kill her.
I think
Bitch,
one
you
of the
started
reasons I'm
this
very
crap.
hard.
I'm gonna end it.
Strand found her right after he
I know,
jumped
right?
off a boat.
Just
You
just
have to
follow the
listen for
Motley Crew.
Sorry, Bridget, go ahead.
The reason I'm struggling with this is because let's be honest, okay? Like, let's be honest.
Have
and
we not been?
Let's
Brutally.
realistically. Well, let's realistically look at these characters. None of these characters are good people.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't that
So-
the whole point of
so
the
that's
show?
why-
Everybody's
But
great.
that's why this is so unrealistic that they're like, but you're the,
The
worst
worst.
of us.
Yes.
Even though we're all
Right.
horrible.
But I do understand their point because they were put through hell by Strand, especially June, who was stuck in the tower with him. So
I guess
now
because the
Dwight
season was
Sherry-
so bad, I
and,
just
and made
don't
to
even care
and
that it
made
happened.
to suffer in silence
right.
too.
Dwight
Does
and
that make
Sherry
sense?
not so
Like,
much
I
because
hated
they.
that
That's what I was
season
saying
so much, I
before.
just
You
don't
don't
care that it
care.
happened.
You don't care
Like, I
even
don't
the
care.
reasons at this point.
But Dwight and Sherry
No, I
maybe
don't.
not so
I'm
much
so
because
angry.
they were
I'm
in
so
and out.
angry.
But June was in the tower watching him cause all these problems and torture all these people and cost her father-in-law basically
And Charlie
because
got
of what
sick
he was
because of
doing.
him. Yeah.
and Charlie.
Morning
and
Cloak.
Charlie. So I mean, I totally get why they're like, "Oh, you're out of here."
And I
buddy,
should
get
I
outta
should
here."
reiterate, I didn't like this back and forth. I didn't like that they were railing on my Strand, who I hoped had a redemption arc coming. But at the same time, it's valid, and even Victor was valid too in his points.
Yeah, I definitely think their feelings are valid, and also I would also be hesitant
But
having Strand
also-
be in charge of things,
Yeah.
but like
also, you
but he
just
can
said,
like be there with his little family over here, like go over there and do your thing.
But he
you just
wasn't.
made
And that's the point.
That, you just
Yeah.
made the point that June and Dwight and Sherry don't know Troy. So
Hmm.
Strand could just be telling them, "Oh, he's gonna hurt me or he's gonna kill me if you send me back." But they don't know that because they don't know Troy,
Oh, it's like Negan too.
right?
The Crow
and
wants me
June
dead.
June probably doesn't care if
Right,
Troy
well, I
kills
mean,
Strand.
but, you
No,
know,
but
they're-
that's the
they're
point.
like-
There was
Strand
Yeah.
could be
No
saying
one
that
wants some of
just
that.
to save his own ass, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
He,
And that
they
would-
could
that
not
would
believe
be
him.
within his character. To
Well, we
lie to
also
save
saw
his
him
own skin.
almost kill him too in Anton. So it's completely believable that Troy would kill Strand.
Well, they
given the chance.
they busted in at the last second
Right.
there. They didn't see the whole amp up, but still, yeah,
It's quite the ramp up too. Oof.
yeah.
I mean, all those people had to leave because Troy would have killed them had they stayed, and yet they're like,
yeah.
"You'll be fine." Like he's not gonna be, he's not gonna be fine. This guy does suck.
Yeah.
You guys know it. Their whole colony was taken over by him. He was like waltzed in, and he's like, "This is mine now."
Yeah.
Strand
And Strand
Strand-
is a bad guy. I am fine with that.
Strand messed them all up so bad they wouldn't even take food; they'd rather die. So
That's
I
right.
mean,
Right.
And
And
that's not
yeah.
no.
See, and this-
it's not in my head canon, but it's fine.
and this is this well, we're not talking about specific people, but this is the thing that I like the most is that about this episode. Again, why I like this episode the most is that certain
Because you knew I was gonna get mad.
no, with as much as they've forgotten, and just tying this in a bow, at least, with as much as they have forgotten, or the people they have forgotten, at least listen, credit where credit is due. They didn't forget about the tower. They didn't give him a second chance. I loved that. I love that they didn't do this. Maybe the
isn't
same
that
thing
like
over and over
Strand's
again.
54th chance.
That's what I'm saying. He's not getting another chance. And I like that. Don't do the things over and over again. Things don't have to repeat. Sometimes people don't deserve second chances. And I'm sorry, it sounds like I'm yelling at you, but I'm not. But I'm just really amped. I'm really amped about this. I'm amped about the fact that there was
Okay,
this.
I was literally yelling at you like
I
5
know,
minutes
I've been
ago.
No,
I've
no,
been
I'm not.
yelling
I'm
through
not
the
yelling
whole
at any of you.
episode, so-
I'm just really excited about just this point. Is that it's so exciting to see this back and forth between June and Strand, and them both being right, and the truth being somewhere in between. There's something so compelling about that, and callbacks to the FEMA shelter, going out to get meds, her daughter being the reason why all those people are killed, and yeah, she didn't mean for it to happen, but it happened. It was horrible. It was horrible, objectively
Again,
horrible.
That Strand was comparing apples and like crab apples there because
I
they're vaguely similar but,
But there's a
very different.
I didn't
But there's
think
a
that was
strata,
what he was
right?
referring to.
Yeah, he was
Referring to
to
the FEMA camp.
Yeah, when
shelter.
they
I didn't think he
met.
was
Because
referring
he
to that.
said
I thought
they
he was
went
referring
back
to
into-
Padre and the like testing on people.
No,
and
well,
that's
he's-
what I thought he was
He
saying.
said,
Well,
he said
sure.
when we first met.
When we
He said
first
when we
met.
first met.
Naomi.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Naomi.
And then I
may-
also thought he was
may
talking
not
about
know, he may not know about
Alicia
the
almost
experiment.
getting killed.
He may not know about the experiment stuff because he wasn't at Padre. He was off living in a hotel.
That's right.
So
he doesn't
may
know.
not know anything about
That's
the
true.
experimental
That's true.
stuff.
Okay, that's fair.
Dwight and
Yeah,
Sherry
I was
know.
like, yeah.
Hey, June
And the
did what she
experimentation
could.
was under duress. I mean, she wasn't choosing to.
Well, and
that
nobody's
was-
arguing that. And all of this is uncomfortable,
Did you
right?
see June's little wooden finger in this episode? She did have it on. If
I
you-
was
you-
too
I
busy
didn't see
looking
it. She- I
I
everywhere.
didn't. Yeah.
Everywhere
I was too
else.
busy being furious.
No, I wanted to go to your point about fast travel. And it's something I did think about and did annoy me. So this
Fucking timelines.
So this is
Fast
this
travel.
includes the lighthouse, sure. Remember the lighthouse, but this also includes going fast traveling to far off places where it's colder, in what seems to be short spans of time, etc. But it just occurs to me, like with so few episodes left, I don't have this episode didn't even give me the attention span required to harp on that. There was so much going on in this episode that was
And they
jam
introduced
packed.
brand new characters.
Also, and that's
Why?
that's another thing I liked about this episode. Something that I said 2 episodes ago, I think it was. What I really liked about this last half of the season was that we were slowly getting more and more people on the screen. Another good thing to say about this last half of the season. They had the right mix of people on the screen. However, and I'm not sure how you feel about this. No, really, I'm asking. I think, to your point, maybe there was a little too many characters either introduced or too many on the screen at the same time. This is quite the ensemble.
I would rather have Sarah and Wendell than have whatever
Thank
fresh
you.
hell this is.
Thank you.
I get it.
Bring Sarah back. We don't need 3 Alicia cosplayers.
I get it. Cool. Okay, cool. You wanted to do that storyline? You should have done it earlier.
I mean,
You
for that
should've
matter,
started it at the
have
beginning
Sarah
of
have
this chunk.
Sarah come in with doing the Alicia cosplay. She can have a metal arm and wear the Alicia style clothes
I can
and
just see
be
it now.
driving Swatty. Why don't we do that? Bring back a character we know and care about that we have been screaming about all season instead of bringing in these 3 strangers that we don't even care about. And now next episode we'll never see them.
Oh God, we got to start reading.
We'll never
comments.
see him again.
Oh, gee Wilson.
I
That's what I'm
was
saying.
so-
We got to
when
start
they
reading comments.
introduced-
Yeah.
When
Go
they
ahead.
introduced the Alicia cosplayers and she starts telling these stories about Alicia after we all thought she was dead. And yes, I understand that episode was left very open ended. Everybody was like, "What happened? Did she really die? Did she not?" Da, 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 da. So
Did
this
she
confirms
magically
that
wake
she
up on
was-
the beach healed?
Thank you. So this
Or-
confirms that what we saw in that ending episode, like she just wakes up, she's magically healed.
Is
Oh, look at
true.
the color back in my cheeks, and the air is suddenly clear, and like what?
Guys, she gave birth to Tracy right on that beach, and
I
she just
mean,
walked.
Right there.
She just
in
waddled
the
off.
Right
Dread
there.
Pirate Roberts.
Look, the whole reason they left
True.
was because it was on fire
Nice,
and the
Bridget.
nuclear zombies were going to spread nuclear zombie smoke all over the place. That's why they all had to leave. But yet Alicia can go back and find people and they're
Yep.
okay. I don't what?
I don't know. That doesn't bother me. What actually bothers me about that, though, a little bit, is
Swatty.
I can tell. Not even that, because they got the fuel from the generators, according to whatever, to to be able to drive long distances with Swati. That, and again,
Alicia
Such a-
went in and
such a
got all the
disappointment, though.
gasoline and everything they needed, and she went in the burning tower and got it all herself. Oh, where Alicia stands. That makes no freaking
so
sense.
Well, then
where
Alicia had to use a breathing mask too, like her mom.
that would be ironic.
After that,
So
Be hard to hold with that metal hand.
to your point, what I didn't like about this episode was I would have preferred them leaving that piece out, making her Alicia either more nebulous, and they may still do that. They may be making a total story up about this supposed Alicia, but then again, she told her all about their mother. No, they could have learned about it on the tapes
they
instead.
did learn about her on the tape because they wore the tape out. They watched it so many times. I actually, to my point, Dread Pirate Roberts, I want this to be like not even Alicia.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of
I
what
don't
I'm
even
saying.
want it to be Alicia. I want it
Just-
to be someone
you
who
literally
says
fence
they're Alicia.
blaming 2
Ow.
episodes in a row.
It's Al Isha.
It's Owl.
It's
Owl.
Owl Alicia.
Al Isha.
And yeah, and it could be Al, by the way, that is doing all this. Why not? Why not? I don't know. Anyway,
I'm sorry, but Al and Isabel are off living in their little cozy cottage.
cozy shack,
Together. With,
right? Not being
They're-
attacked by the
I don't
CRM.
know, they're found
not in
baby.
Texas.
They
Right,
found a
they're
baby
in
somewhere. and they're cozied up. I
Tennessee?
don't know.
The mountains. Anyway, whatever. So,
I
Yeah,
hope
they
they
were
didn't
pretty- they were
get
pretty
caught in the
close to me,
flash
actually.
freeze either.
so let me finish my thought though.
It'll stop you right where you stand.
With regards to Alicia, though, that's not how I want to find out that if she happens to be alive and if these ladies are telling the truth. That's not how I want to find out about this. To your points, off screen. That's not the reveal I want.
I really do not think that ADC is coming back.
I don't think so
mean,
either.
I
No,
don't think she's
I don't think so
coming back.
either.
I think they
The
all
only
but confirmed
way-
that she's dead. And I-
Here is my prediction. Here is my prediction. Okay, they're gonna be reunited because Madison's gonna die, and the last thing we're gonna see is the three of them with our backs to us walking off into heaven or some crap, all reunited together.
This is
And
once
we'll have
upon a time.
stand-ins for Nick and Alicia and Madison walking in the middle, and they all go off together, and that's the end. Bye. Or everybody gets abducted by aliens. That's my other theory.
You don't.
I'm down for alien
I
abduction.
don't think you'd be a better writer for this show, but I think that would be better than maybe what they
It
come
does
up
really
with.
play into the space spore thing, though.
Great.
And
Let's
then they,
let's
and then they play space junk.
Yeah.
terrible writing. Anyway.
And then Tobias comes down.
Yes,
And
it's
he's like-
Tobias. Tobias is
like,
the leader of the
I've gotta
aliens,
go.
and he's just like,
My planet needs me.
and then David's out.
He just poochies his way out.
Yes, yes. And he's like, I told you.
Dave missed
Yes.
it.
I know. He'll catch it in the edit.
Dave, you missed it. You missed my
Good.
ending.
Good.
It was
I
was
did
really
not
good.
say that.
Does Tobias
Thomas.
die?
No, he goes,
Okay, bye.
I
See
have
you
to
later.
go. My planet needs me. And then he just shoots up.
Oh, you know, actually, that's not so bad.
No,
All right, that's
no.
fine. That's
Wait
fine.
a
I
minute,
like it.
and then somebody is gonna be Randy Quaid and fly their plane into the mothership and say, in the immortal words of my generation, up yours.
Yours.
Right. And
Goodbye, and
even-
thanks for all the
and then-
fish.
And then June could help out with the up yours because she's already missing the finger. She only has to bend one down.
She's just-
you know.
Yeah.
Toss it. All right, let's read some
I'm
comments.
giving you the finger.
Literally.
She might even chop off her middle finger and just toss
Throws
it
her-
at them.
Throws her wooden
Take it
finger
off
at
and
him.
throw the wooden
Yeah.
finger at him.
Anyway, okay. Thomas says.
There are so many comments.
Yeah, I know. Dave, Thomas says, Dave, you need to get out more if you think there was anything redeeming about this episode. I'm just gonna get a lot of hate this week. It's fine. It's fine. You believe what you want to believe. Thomas says, did Sharon D just say Alicia queefed?
I did not.
Yes.
Did not say that.
G. Wilson says,
Bequeathed.
yeah. G. Wilson says, since we're bringing up the actor so much in this episode, I want to shout out Coleman Domingo.
Yes.
He had a movie this Friday,
love him.
Rustin.
Again,
I love him.
Again.
Ooh.
the acting is
Yep.
fantastic. Most of it.
His
Most
first,
of the acting is fantastic.
yeah, his first lead role. On,
99%.
yeah, first lead role on a feature film, and I'm so proud of him. Hearts. Oh, I should say also, one little factoid about this episode was when Tracy was pointing on the map, the right before they get out of the car, or right before they eject Victor out of the car, she is pointing to Coleman Lake. I thought that was kind of cute.
Aw,
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
that was funny.
They're still in Georgia. They just happen to be really further west of where Savannah is for sure, obviously.
Really far into space and time because there's
Real-
no other reason.
Tobias beamed them
frozen.
It's
everywhere in this
frozen.
episode. Yeah, well,
Like, I live in the South, and yes, we do get freezes. It does get cold, but it lasts like maybe a day or two,
Mm-hmm.
and
And it can happen
nobody,
fast.
but not enough to flash freeze you in your tracks. I'm
What about-
sorry, that
Are there like mountainous regions of Georgia? Like
yeah, it's still
'cause it
not
looked
gonna
like they were
flash
up
freeze
there.
anybody in the mountains. It's still not gonna flash freeze anybody in place.
Okay, so Takira says scream laughing, laugh. I wish we had that on here. But Thomas says Alicia, Alicia moved on to a good set off Riders on a new show. AJ says, I guess Alicia cosplayer are trying to do some Disney World crap. Quote, come to the MRAP and take a picture with Alicia. Takira says you have to say to be fair the way they do on Letterkenny. No. We've done that before.
Oh.
Not everybody knows Letterkenny on this show, right?
Oh, you should go
Yeah,
watch it
I
right
know.
now.
I
Well, when we're
couldn't get
done.
into
Which,
it.
by the way, they're having their last season soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's their last
I
season that's
tried
coming
it.
up.
I watched it for a whole season. I just don't get it.
Oh, I love it.
Thomas says she wouldn't be June. She'd be Laura still. Oh, somewhere in between. The truth lies between Laura. Thomas says, "Don't worry. A character will talk about your scene in a monologue, Jason." True. Francis says, "Fear lately. It's the same old situation. Sparkle notes, music, laugh with hand on face." Takira says, "I feel like the cosplayers know exactly who Madison is, and I think they're okay with it for some reason." Takira says, "I was not surprised at all that Daniel did that. I'm sure he's done worse, and he's so angry and wanted to get back at Troy right now." Well, thank you. Thomas says, "Daniel has effing dementia. No quote unquote magical juice cures dementia." Excuse me, that's yerba mate. AJ,
I almost bought some of that the other day just so I could take a picture of it.
it's not that bad,
oh,
actually.
whoever has Daniel in Secret Santa.
Oh.
Yep.
Rachel, I think I might want to trade with you, but we'll see. I feel like I'll do.
Rachel,
I don't know if I don't know.
no, Rachel is not
don't know.
allowed to trade.
No, she's allowed to trade. It's not fair.
No,
I feel like
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'll give her up.
okay.
I think
But
it's gonna be so good.
If you
too.
waver,
I know you're gonna rip into her.
anyway. AJ says Daniel needs some memory juice to help him remember he's not the guy to kill a kid like that. Rebuttal. Walking Dead Eternal says the three girls who saved Strand telling him about Alicia. I don't think they were all that the way honest. Okay.
One of those girls, by the way, is Scott Gimple's wife in real life.
Oh,
I don't know
Really?
which one. Yeah, I don't know which one.
oh,
What?
The only one that seems appropriate was the one who was driving.
Yeah.
'Cause the other ones
that's-
seem far
that's
too
the one
young.
that popped in my head too.
I
yeah.
want her beauty
Yeah.
regime. G. Wilson said, I really do, because we'll talk offline about that. There's a lot of jokes there. G. Wilson says, as someone who lost a daughter himself, Daniel encouraging Madison to kill Tracy. Well, it was more the other way around. It was Madison encouraging Daniel, because Madison's the one who said it, and Daniel's like, I don't, but okay. Daniel encouraging Madison to kill Tracy just felt like something that was completely out of place, and he was just coming out of a dark place too. Well, and that's the point, I think, really. Thomas says Daniel is Ruben. I wanted to comment that, whatever. Thomas says Daniel is Ruben Blades. Tracy is Ian and Andrew, so Daniel would definitely want to chomp Tracy to pieces. Wow. Some real life meta shit stuff. Thomas says June cut Tracy's finger off. I'd pay to see that. Thomas says also, Rachel, you coughed. You need to dramatically suck on your oxygen tank. Where the F is skid mark? Dead. Promise
It's
is
been too many
broken.
Years now.
Promise is broken. G. Wilson says.
Actually, skid marks on the alien ship. He's the one that sent them back to get everybody.
He's the captain of Tobias's alien ship. That's
He's
beaming.
the Iron Tiger.
He's
That's
the
why he
Iron
got the
Tiger.
name.
Yeah, there you go. We solved it. G. Wilson says that.
Except aliens don't use iron. They're far more evolved.
Though that's the irony, though, Sharon D. Is that I.
Dwight is the one that uses the iron.
That's the sound it makes. Anyways, G. Wilson says I love June, but she doesn't get to speak on Troy the same way Daniel Madison Strand do. Agreed, but that's why I liked it. Takira says I agree, Bridget. I don't remember what it was about, but Bridget is someone to
How
agree
mad
with.
I was.
David Kronza says Daniel Key helping kill Tracy was off. Yeah, it was off. Given his past with Ophelia, I'd see Daniel saving Tracy. Yeah, I could see that too. Sure. G. Wilson says, and had Strand and Tracy not left the island, this whole thing would have gone differently. Agreed. But June wasn't having it. June and everybody else wasn't having it. Thomas says, Dave, you should be committed to a psychiatric institution for loving this. I don't know. Agree to disagree. Oh, but the other part of my brain agrees with you. The ones Takira says, again, agree on that too. Hey, no, I don't like it. Takira says, but damn it, this episode was all over the place. Agreed. I will agree with that. The one last comment I wanted to say on that, because I kept getting sidetracked and wavy, windy, wooby, is that this season, I think, would have been a lot better if they had more episodes to flesh, especially with this one. It was too all over the place. There were too many characters on screen, too many people coming in, and too many things going on. Too much fast travel. To your point, was what I was trying to say before. To be cohesive, I think these are almost two separate stories, and one they could have focused on. But maybe, I don't know, maybe because it's racing towards the end, and maybe because they didn't want to keep doing the whole character focused episodes too. Like they want, oh, people didn't like that, so let's do an ensemble. Yeah. Anyway.
They went from one side to the other. They went from having one character per episode to having 52.
Exactly.
Characters
It's
per
part of the
episode.
troll. I'm starting to agree with you, Shandy.
Thank you.
But-
You're like, you don't
Thank
want
you.
anthology style episodes?
Right.
Here you
Oh,
go.
you want to know where Sarah and Wendell are? Here you go. They starved to death because they were too proud to help Strand help them.
Now,
But
the
we'll
the show didn't
never
say that.
confirm it.
Jinx. So, no, I was gonna say something else though. I forgot what it was. With respect, okay, no, but I was thinking about this on Sunday, as I was watching this episode, or sorry, Monday on the way home from work. I was thinking to myself on the elevator, isn't this what we said about the show? We said, show, stop listening to the fans and do you. And I feel like as much of it that I actually kind of like. I like that Madison isn't great. I like that Madison is maybe the villain that nobody expected or nobody even wanted. I can accept that explanation as well. But I feel like I don't know how much input from the fans that they've been taking for the last few seasons. Because ever since the last few seasons, because we've all acknowledged it feels like they're listening to the fans in some respect. And I don't like it. I'm okay with 4, 5, and 6 because they stuck to their guns and tried to tell a story from their point of view, what they thought this story should be about. And I feel like 7 and 8, because 7 was planned with Madison in mind at the end, or at least somewhere in the planning process midway through. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you feel like the story should have just stuck to their guns? But we focused on? Am I even here?
No, we have a visitor.
This is getting edited out of the podcast.
Okay.
No, but do you think I'm? Do you think I'm onto something here that maybe they took in too much feedback from the audience? Like one too many, at least.
Well, I mean, there's a big glaring yes to that, and that's bringing fucking Madison back.
Hey, language.
I'm sorry. I do apologize. Okay, edit this out. A big glaring.
They brought
yes
Madison
is that
back.
They brought
Yeah.
Madison back.
Yeah. But that
One-
in and of
one
itself
little-
wouldn't be bad.
One little loud contingent of people that wanted her to come back, and so they brought her back and shoehorned her in and tried to write everything around her, and it just made everything terrible.
But you know what? You can bring Madison back and the show be even good or better. But that's not what happened. other things were listened to too. They didn't like they didn't like the character focused episodes, so they brought in, they kept on weaving in
But,
more characters.
I mean, most of these have been pretty character focused in season 8. I mean, a couple of them have been sort of ensemble, but this was the only one that's really had a lot of people in it.
Right, right. And I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm just saying that I feel like there's so many
I
things that
mean,
we can
I was one of those people that was like, okay,
where our characters.
the anthology style was cool for a couple of seasons, but now I want, like, what I liked about season 4 and 5. Well, not that's not what I liked about them, but one of the things I liked about them was that all of our characters were in most of the episodes. We had a couple of bottle episodes, but most of them were all of the characters. Now they may not all be in the same place, but all of the characters were in the episode. But remember, when we talked to Phil, he said that the fans' responses to episodes like Laura and Close Your Eyes, and I forget what he said the other one was.
With like Morgan, Sarah, and Wendell.
It was Althea and Isabel, the Al and Isabel
Right,
episode.
505.
People responded to those so well that they decided to go in the direction of doing more like that, and that's why we got so many bottle episodes.
Well, and the
But what
pandemic
they
didn't
needed
hurt.
to do
Didn't
was
help.
find a balance. Find a balance. Like I opening the season. You guys remember 801 when they opened the season with Morgan and Madison and nobody else? I lost my mind
But
because it was like, why? They're not the only people on this show. They're not who I'm here to watch.
and that was still filmed during COVID-ish times too, right?
No, 801 was not.
Wasn't it though?
No.
Well, either way, I mean, but as for the rest of the season, though, they slowly included more characters
Right.
along
Well,
the way.
again,
That's kind of what I'm
after
saying.
802, I was like, all right, I wouldn't have been, if I had seen 802 before we recorded, I wouldn't have been so mad, but I was just furious that was what we got in the opening episode was Morgan and Madison. Come on. This
Right.
is what I'm excited for? Not.
Right, right. Okay. Well, let's keep going with comments for the meantime. Okay. Carranza says, "I love you, David cameo." I love you too, Carranza. Thomas says, "Dave loves this episode because Ian and Andrew donated $3 to his." I wish. I'd be like, dude, frame it on the wall. G. Wilson says, "So you get to change." Okay, I like this. G. Wilson says, "I like so much." G. Wilson. So you get to change, but he can't. That's the thing. Troy has never changed. He's even admitted to wanting to kill the people at the ranch again. That technically isn't his or his father's. Can we talk about this just for a sec? Have you? Because we touched on it a little bit, but do you think Troy has changed? And we just haven't seen that side of him, and that maybe this is where the season is going. That we're not seeing the whole of it. We're just seeing the worst of it. Oh, you're buzzing for some reason.
Who's buzzing?
Oh, you were
changed away from like
being season 3 Troy. Oh.
he. Oh,
Let me just see if she's still there. Oh, I can't hear
there we
you.
go. Uh-oh.
I'm here. I just turned my camera off for a
Oh,
minute.
okay.
There we go. I don't know. That's tough to say. I don't think we've seen enough of this new Troy. The only thing we've seen from this new Troy is his vengeance for Madison. I mean, he's like, "Oh, I gotta, find a place for my people to settle and be safe and everything." But I feel like the bigger point here is screwing over Madison in the process, because there's a lot of different places he could have went to find a safe place for these people, but he chose to seek out Madison and kill her or like destroy everything that she's doing. Like, no, I guess no. To answer you, no, I don't see much change in
Yeah,
Troy.
after this episode, I'm completely unsure, which is fine by me, actually.
I mean, we don't know if he's still like experimenting on people. We don't know.
It was just a phase. It was just a phase.
It was just a phase.
It's not
yeah.
a phase, Mom.
Yeah.
Well, and we did get to see a little bit of softness when he was panicking, trying to find Tracy. And there was almost like this weird moment where Madison and he could have reconciled until she saw the one-armed walkers and realized that was his doing.
Which how? Sorry, I don't want to backslide into another episode.
know,
But
I know.
how did she not think that was him?
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. But
What an idiot!
but this is like the werewolf thing that we've talked about. Like it's easy for us to say because we have this omnipresent point of view too.
I know, but she's like, who's cutting all these arms off the walker? Who the hell do you think it is?
Anyway, so okay, so Takira says he really does want to make he really does want to make better decisions, but he doesn't know how to make good decisions. We're still talking about Victor, right? Yeah. Well, oh hell no, Troy doesn't get a second chance. What about Victor? AJ says, I missed her in season 7 laugh. He hasn't laughed this season. Maybe we'll get a chance. Thomas says, I read that the entire finale happens off screen. I wouldn't be surprised when they replace it with the Tobias ending and also the Clark family going to heaven. Thomas says, I read that entire finale. Oh, wait, sorry. G. Wilson says, Madison was the one who left Strand alone in the first place. So if June, Dwight, and Sherry have an issue with it, why not take it out on her? Listen, if wishes were horses, we'd all be eating steak.
Like I said this last week too. Why does everybody fall all over themselves to do what Madison wants? Oh, we gotta do this for Madison. Oh, we gotta do this for Madison. Shut. You don't have to do crap for Madison.
Who are we talking about specifically? Do it for Madison? Oh, you mean Victor?
Well, June, Dwight, and Sherry.
Right.
Well,
Everybody
June
falls
and Sherry
all over
and
themselves
Dove.
to do crap for cover up for Madison. Why?
Well, they're just covering up because there's nobody else that's going to do it, or especially Madison. So that's
she
really what it is.
sucks.
It's not really for Madison. In fact,
Well,
to
they're
your earlier point,
Madison got us in this mess, and now we got to fight our way out of it.
and to your
as
point, I don't think
usual.
they like her pretty much at all. Luciana especially.
Yeah, like Luciana.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
And I'm fine with that. Again, I can
Yeah.
dislike the decisions and still like the character because they're compelling. You know, I'm not saying I like Madison because she's a good person
She's so
necessarily.
flat.
Well, that's a whole other topic of conversation. Takira says Madison is still his. Okay. G. Wilson says, wait. Oh, actually, I should read this. Takira says Madison is still his motivation. I'm assuming Victor, or no, maybe even Troy. Right.
She was talking about Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Troy.
G. Wilson says, and even then, Strand's at least willing to try, even if he struggles with doing better at times. Yeah, but the problem is with some people, it's too late, and that I love that. I love that for him, but not really for him. Takira says he might want to take care of Tracy, but his motivation's a revenge. Oh, interesting, Takira.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I like that.
And maybe we'll see that struggle. Is it worth more to go after Madison than to keep his daughter safe? And he kind of proved a little of that is wrong too, right? He would have rather. Was it Luciana says? It's like they didn't care if they lived or died. Meanwhile, Victor does care deeply. He does not want to be killed because he has people that would mourn for him. And I like that some of that was in this episode, I think. And shown on this episode. Takira says, I don't see the change whatsoever. Oof. G. Wilson says, that's the thing that separates Strand and Troy as characters to me. Troy's so driven by revenge, and limited POV prevents us from seeing any chance from him. Yeah, any change from him. Yes, I agree. And I'm just hoping that we get a little bit depth. And again, we have, I think, was it the 2-episode finales this Sunday, essentially? Yeah. So we're gonna get a whole lot of that, and I don't even know how long this all is, too. Thomas says it wasn't upsetting; it was just laughable. I don't do terrible things. Thomas says, "Wait, is masturbating chickens terrible?" Asking for a friend. Cock of the Walkers, Sharon D says. Thomas says Madison becomes unemployed. Karanza says Madison is like a virus, though. That's interesting, compelling, and depressing. Oh, when I was saying about Madison being the virus that makes everybody worse. Yeah. Again, compelling. Doesn't make me happy about it, but it's compelling. Listen, I am a little happy about it. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I like chaos. I love chaos. Season 4 was the best season, Thomas says.
Well, I mean, Dave, that explains why you like this episode. You love chaos, and that's exactly what this
I love
episode is.
chaos. Chaos is interesting. I don't
I mean,
like
that's
chaos
why-
for chaos'
That's why
sake.
you're liking this season, because this whole show is just devolved into chaos.
No, but there's chaos and there's beauty in the chaos, and then there's chaos for the sake of chaos. I don't think this was chaos for the sake of chaos. There were some really interesting things going back and forth. And Karanza says season 6 was awesome. Takira says, yes, Rachel. Obviously. Jermaine says, Walking Dead Eternal says, I just didn't care for this episode, honestly. Well, you know, you're in the majority.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Join the club.
Yeah. Welcome to the club. Great episode, actually. Carranza says it does seem like tons of rehashing. Agreed, but then, you know, I don't see an end game, and we only have two left. We said this about the Walking Dead too. We were really panicking by the last few episodes. G. Wilson says Negan treated Dwight and Sherry worse than Strand treated them. Put a pin in that. Yet they are being both depicted as equals in their eyes, and I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? That's a really compelling comparison.
It's true, because just think of how Negan treated Cherry. Yeah,
Yeah,
end of story.
yeah.
End of story. I don't even need to go into anything else.
Yeah, but I don't even think you need to compare the levels. It's just Victor was just awful. It was awful. It doesn't have to be Negan awful to be awful in such dire scarcity and just the ability for nobody to survive. And Victor's like, nah, I don't want to let you in. You know, it's just kind of, it's like another level or different realm of cruelty, I think. You know, but you don't have to compare. Takira says, Strand to me was the only one left, the only one with a plan that made sense. And again, that's the irony. I think that's why I like the most about this episode. It was a little confusing at times because I too, as an audience member, was like, is he doing this to save his skin? Really, purely, or even partially? I asked myself 3 times in my notes, I don't know, this doesn't line up. That's the only thing that I was iffy on. But yeah, apparently it was all about Tracy. And did you guys get the sense that Victor was doing there was like a little bit of role transference, that Victor was doing the Madison thing that she was doing throughout the 7 years? He was being Padre, that he was ripping Troy's daughter away from him because he wanted to give her a better life, right or wrong.
No, well, that's what they said
No.
in the episode or Insider.
No.
So I guess
Oh,
that's
yeah?
what their intention was.
I did not
I watched
remember
it.
that. Okay.
I guess that was their intention, according to them.
It's
that
to make
didn't
him
really make
Padre,
sense to me, but
basically.
It's fine.
But what do you think about that? Does that make Victor? Because I have problems with that. I think
Number one, I didn't see him as ripping Troy's daughter away. They found her in the flippin' woods after she ran away.
I agree, but the
Right.
fact that he decided to keep, see, like the truth
Well,
lies
and I
somewhere in
feel like-
between.
I feel like he decided to keep her because he could use her as leverage.
But
I don't
even
think it had anything to
That's
do with
what I
him
saw.
wanting her to be in a better place or have a better life. He was using her as leverage to keep Troy away or to keep Padre safe.
said
in
as
his-
much.
Yeah, I don't think. it
So
had
the
anything to do with that.
episode or Insider refutes that. The writers are saying that's not true.
So they refuted
Then why
their
would
own
they
writing.
write that line?
I think it's a yes.
They're refuting their own writing.
They said that he wanted to give Tracy a better life.
yeah, but it's
But he literally said she's here so that Troy doesn't
I
attack.
know.
no, but it's
Refuting their own
it's a
writing.
yes and it's a both things can be
Yeah.
true. Both things can definitely be true. Yes, it's
When
leverage.
we're talking about Strand, I'm gonna wholeheartedly disagree. But who am I?
You're Rachel. We love you. And I think both things can be true. Yes, it's leverage to prevent him from ever coming and attacking the island. Maybe, because again, we see in this episode he's capable. Even when he's overwhelmed, he went and decided to shoot anyway. So it
Well-
makes Victor right. Or sorry,
it
makes him wrong, but it also makes him right.
I also don't think he's using her as leverage just for himself. I think it's also to keep Frank and Klaus safe.
Absolutely, and I love that the most about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
In
a
this
lot of
situation,
reasons.
It's not only his butt he's trying to cover. It's also his family.
Yeah, and he's doing it all for them. Whereas in the tower, it was for himself.
For himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But I
Dave,
like
do
that.
you mind if we? Oh,
What's that?
sorry. I thought
No,
you
no,
were
no.
done.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, do you mind if we skip forward in comments because I just feel like people are still commenting, and so we're
It's
we're
building up.
exponentially like
Yeah.
getting further behind, and people are asking us questions now. So I'd
Mm.
like
Okay.
to be able to answer those questions. Is that
Mm,
okay?
Yeah, I'm skipping ahead. I feel like the. Mm,
So while Dave's reading comments, let's all just agree how much Madison sucks and she can die in any episode now, and I will be so
I don't
happy.
even feel I genuinely don't even feel that way because I did enjoy seasons 1 through 3, but again, and I stated this in the last episode, that I did want for her to have a redemption in this. I don't see that I'm getting it. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna cram into the last 2 episodes. But I'm not feeling very hopeful right now. And
I don't feel
that's
like a
really
redemption is
disappointing. And
even
also, we don't get to be together,
possible.
so like, I'm just like irritated about the whole thing. Like, I'm just irritated about everything.
Yeah.
Like, we don't get to be together for it because they switched the date of the final episode like 4 weeks ago, and I'm frustrated about like the whole thing because that sucks.
G. Wilson says, I refuse to put a dead skid mark out there in existence.
yeah, I was gonna read that too.
Well, see, skid mark is with Sarah and Wendell, and he died because he also wouldn't take anything from Strand. He
He's the
hated
world's
Strand
most
too.
judgmental cat.
That's right. He was like,
Okay.
meow.
What a catty chat.
meow.
Chatty cat.
Meow.
So, Diego Ramos joined and says, "Hey guys, you seen any
Hey,
episode 11 and
Diego.
12 reviews?" I have not
Refuse.
because a ton of people are refusing to review the
I
episodes.
also have
So,
not.
just so you know, there's not a lot of reviewers reviewing them because they don't want to.
And they're not
because
allowed
they
to,
stopped.
really.
They stopped reviewing the show. Period. But two, on top of that, I'm not a spoiler fan.
Yeah,
I don't
like
think anybody
spoilers.
on
don't-
screen right now likes
I
spoilers.
don't like
We hate them.
spoilers.
No.
There's another
So,
reason why
Sorry.
I don't need. I didn't even read the reviews after this because of how. And again, I like this episode, but something that I was gonna
We
say
know.
at the top of this episode was, and this is before we even got on. I said, wait for it. I'm gonna tell you this. I think. Okay, it's very easy to see a lot of people not liking this episode naturally, for sure. Fine, but I feel like the hate's a little bit overblown, in my opinion. And I think part of that is because some of the reviews right after this episode, or even before this episode, some people tweeting about it and saying, "Oh, this is the worst episode." I think that gets in people's head. I think that's why we've talked about this too. This is why I hate spoiler-free reviews and quotes, because I do think that influences people. Yes, it influences people. I think it plants a seed in people's brain, and then when people see the episode and see things they don't like about this episode, I think it really, really influences the way they feel about it overall. Overall, sorry. And Rachel's gonna say I barely caught up on these episodes as it is.
I mean, I can agree with you.
I wanted to put that in more context.
I can
Okay.
agree with you a little bit, but I can promise you that my hatred for these episodes comes
no.
from deep, deep.
I believe you,
disappointment in this show.
Yeah, I believe you.
It is not because I've seen reviews or whatever. Oh, the reviewers, which I have seen, but that had nothing to do with why I'm so angry.
But I
And-
also believe that it does help you unleash a little bit more. I mean, when other people are hating on something, it makes it a lot easier to hate on something too. And I
To put David's comments in even more context, he doesn't even allow us to discuss the episode with each other
Yeah.
before we record, just so everyone knows.
yeah, so this way when we meet, we each come in with our own uninfluenced opinions. Is that fair?
Which I mean, I can't say that my opinion, how I feel about something, has ever been influenced by someone else. The discussions that we have help me understand things that I'm confused about, that maybe I don't have a feeling on. But when I have a feeling about something, or I have an impression of something, like, that does not usually get swayed
Now,
by
here's
anyone
why you're
else's
wrong.
opinions.
I mean,
Here's why you're wrong.
you guys
About
have
your
been able
opinions.
to change my opinion before, but just because you've maybe given me a perspective I didn't have
That's
before.
all we try to do. That's it.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
there's that.
maybe.
That's
I mean,
it.
there's moments like that.
We
But
don't
I
try
mean,
to
I agree
convince you
with because
otherwise.
I just got fiercely angry about the beginning of this episode and was yelling about it, and like my opinion hasn't changed on that at all. I'm still
Right.
hella mad.
Right.
But it is what
My
it
opinion
is.
on Madison
is
has
what it
not
is.
changed despite David's love for her. So
Yeah.
And I would
yeah.
never want you
You
to
know.
feel otherwise, by the way. The only reason why no, not the only reason, sorry. I come from a particular point of view, and there may be others like me who have that, which is rare, that have that point of, which it happens though. Carranza, sometimes, not today, Carranza. Today, Carranza's like, oh, you're on your own, bro.
oh, Carranza.
I wish my name
Yeah.
wasn't David, Carranza says.
Even Carranza
No, he didn't
can't
say that at
defend
all.
you. Yeah.
Hey, to other David? Anyway. But-
AJ says, another gripe I have with this one is that they built that tension with Troy and the standoff with Luciana, and then we just skip right over it.
Yeah.
But God forbid we skip Dwight versus Dollar Store Saviors. But G. Wilson's
I like
G.
the dollar
Wilson's
store
also
saviors though.
said- G. Wilson said you can just tell the budget for the show is tight when you have the repeat footage from 807 plus the lack of fighting scenes. And I'd
Yeah.
like to
Mhm.
throw in another thing.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure they reused Charlie's wig on the Alicia Walker.
The fake out Alicia.
Get outta here.
I am
Oh,
like
Get
100%
outta
sure
here.
that is the same wig.
It's a very dark wig.
And very
Yep.
like cut very straight. Like
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
very straight.
And treated. Yep.
It's crazy how
Mitchell
rich
is
in
here
color
now,
it was.
by the
with
way.
no blood
Yeah.
flow.
G. Wilson says, just to clarify regarding Strand and Negan's trapped Sherry in a whole relationship or whatever with him, and Strand at least allowed Dwight and Sherry to stay together after escaping with Mickey. The dark horses. Yeah, I know. And definitely agree with you. In terms of degree, yeah. But I think, pain is pain.
Have you noticed that
comparing.
they've this season kind of has the washed out look that season 4 had? Like it's I was just especially thinking of Charlie episode. That was a very gray
Yeah.
toned
Oh
episode.
yeah, that was really.
And I think that was
washed out.
intentional too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was definitely intentional because it brings you back to the close your eyes mood in a way sometimes too, right? Because that whole episode was this just washed out or dark or washed out or dark, that blue tone. Rachel's in a mood, laughs. David Carranza.
No,
G was
I
Is a
am
mood.
a mood.
You are a
I'm not in a mood.
good evening, youngsters. I don't know what the quote is.
Hello, fellow
Hello,
young
He
fellow
doesn't even
youngsters.
get, he didn't even
Thank-
get it right.
And no, that's the irony.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
evening,
Oh my God.
youngsters.
Good morrow. Anyway, Diego Ramos says
So-
there is one. Do you want me to send it? It's non-spoiler. No, that's the whole point.
No,
It's-
thank you.
don't want that
No,
in my
thanks,
head.
Diego. I appreciate you
And
Yeah,
saying
but
that.
thank you.
politely decline, but thank
You're the
you.
best. Around. Anyway, sorry, Rachel, you're gonna say
I
something.
like this one. No, well, I was gonna read another
Oh.
something from Diego Ramos. He wants to know what would you guys like to see in the finale? Not what we think is gonna happen, but what do we want to see?
I hate
like
that.
that
That's a really
question.
good question.
I don't
love
like
that
it at
question.
all. It's terrible.
You're just so
This is why you're
disagreeable.
wrong.
Here's why you're wrong.
I want to see Padre succeed with all of our favorite characters still there. I want to see June, Sherry, and Dwight. But first, they have to change the name from Padre because if I hear that word one more flipping time, I'm gonna do a Charlie because Padre. I've been hearing that for 2 years. But I think I want Madison to die, straight up. Like they can do that right at the beginning of the next episode. Just take her out, boom. As a matter of fact, if that happens, I'll be good.
It might.
Madison dies.
It might.
Madison dies. June lives. I'm good.
Do you guys want to answer this question before I go off on Diego Ramos?
Well, Sharon took
What
my
did
number
Diego
one
do to
answer.
you?
I also definitely want to see Madison die.
Actually, I don't blame Diego.
For
Diego
real
Ramos.
this time. I also before that I want to find out how she got out of the diamond. That's what I would like to see. An explanation for that. Then immediately after she
As
can
we were
die,
promised, by the way.
on screen death, please.
Oh no, that would be great.
Uh,
Off-screen death from Madison.
Nope. On screen death.
So
for
Bridge is even
Madison,
laughing at
please.
that.
I Alicia's my girl, but right now I'm really on
Hoping
the
she doesn't show
fence
up?
about. I'm really on the. I don't think ADC's coming back. We're not gonna see. We're not gonna see her on screen. I've already made peace with that. It's not gonna happen. Mostly because I don't think. I think if she were, we would have already been spoiled. Just gonna say that. Um, Not to mention, I would like some sort of confirmation one way or another. I feel like everything we've heard about her has been very vague. Like Troy's like, "Oh yeah, I killed her." But I don't know if I believe him.
I'm still there too. I'm with you.
I don't and then the cosplayers were like, "Oh, before Troy killed her." But like nobody said that they saw it happen, you know?
Right,
And
because
if
she
they
kept moving
did
on,
see it,
right? You were saying
yeah,
that. But they
right.
do know that
Yeah.
Troy killed her
Well, they
for some
think
reason.
that he did.
Right.
And if they saw it happen, I don't think they're gonna like just let him run off with her arm. I feel like they would have like hung on to that. But I don't know. I would like a solid answer
Off
as
screen?
to what happened. Nope. On screen, please and thank you. I would like a solid
You
answer
want them
as to
to
what happened with
show,
Alicia.
not tell.
Yes.
Always.
Please.
Yeah.
I'd like them to
So-
strictly tell.
I think
Just
I
a
It's-
black screen and a
it's-
monologue.
Just text. It's
just
just,
like floating
text going
letters,
across.
like Star
it's
Wars.
the Star Wars crawl.
which it's like, hey, how can we troll them even worse? Let's do that. No,
I mean,
yeah.
that would still be better than this episode.
and you know what? By the way, Rachel, to your point, because they brought it into the ether with Troy saying, "Oh, I killed your daughter," and then I want to go after him, and everybody wants to get their body back and put in the. That is probably you're on it. I would like to see that on screen. I'd like to have that because it's brought up now. You got to resolve that
Yep.
now. That's fine with me. So sorry, Diego Ramos. That's probably what I'm going to go with too.
Well, and I think by
What
Troy
I
saying that
would
to
like-
Madison is another form of revenge, right? Like, of course he's going to say that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did he?
irony.
Psychological revenge.
Which is, and
Exactly.
see, that's the thing. It's exactly what Daniel and Madison want to do to him. It's like, okay, you do this, I'm going to do this. Ugh. Anyway, whatever. Sorry, Bridget.
Anyway.
What is there something you would want to see?
Well, I talked about it last episode and I reiterated it here, but Diego wasn't here for that, so I'm just gonna.
But
repeat
after
myself.
this episode, is that still what you want? I think I know what you're going
for
to say.
Strand to have redemption,
For Madison.
you know, I still do. I stand by that statement.
I'm impressed.
Can she be redeemed in death?
Maybe, honestly, maybe.
No, how do you
So
feel about
that
that,
is-
though, guys?
So that is really what I want. I want redemption. One, I want redemption for Strand, especially after this whole rigmarole of like doing this. We're rehashing stuff.
Do you feel like
I
he got
do
some
wanna
of
see it.
that in this episode? Being
I
sort
think-
of mostly
yeah, you
right?
know why? You know why?
Yeah.
Because Lucy's people died.
Because,
So,
yeah, he was right.
Congratulations, guys. You didn't listen to him, and this is what happened. I hate it
Mhm.
for you because that's really sad. I didn't want that to happen. I hate that sweet old man that Frank was so devastated about passed.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yep.
I was really upset about that. But part of me was like, this is exactly what he was telling you. It's what Daniel was telling you too, if any of you had bothered to listen to him.
Right.
He was saying he will stop at nothing. He's coming at you anyway. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to go to take care of this Tracy situation because it doesn't matter anyway. Why don't you guys get ready? Because he's coming to attack. And then they're still surprised when he does come in and attack. And they're like, oh,
This guy's
well,
crazy.
he doesn't have as many people as we do. So it'll be fine. No, he doesn't care. It's scorched earth.
Right.
So I really, so he did get, there's a little bit there. There's a little bit, but I would like redemption for Strand because I've wanted that. I also wanted a more touching reunion between him and Madison. We didn't receive that. So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get, but those are the things that I want to happen. I would like Madison to redeem herself a little bit. I've said it once. I'll say it again. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I don't hate her, but she makes it very hard to like her because she self-sabotages everything constantly.
Well, what about
And
you?
it's hard to
Oh,
watch
sorry.
a character like that.
Yeah. No, and I don't disagree. Look, I like Madison. I like her as a character, and there were things about her. The reasons why she originally did the things that she did was because of her kids, and I like that we're acknowledging in this episode that without them, who does she become? And I don't like that person, but I love watching it. There's something
She becomes that woman that she was in Alabama or whatever, who
Oh,
killed her
She hasn't
daddy.
had her kids for the past almost decade. She steals kids.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
who she becomes.
Well,
But she was living thinking she was protecting them.
exactly.
Now that she knows for sure that they're gone, there is absolutely nothing left for her. And again, I think that she becomes the person she was before, which what little we've been given about that isn't a good person.
Bridget, you teed me
Well,
up
I'm not
so
saying-
perfectly, by the way.
I'm not saying that she wasn't warranted. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a domestic abuse survivor. Like, hell yeah. But it still doesn't, it doesn't make you right.
I mean, what you do is you
Yeah.
find something else to live for and you move on. There are so
I
many
agree.
children
I
out
agree.
there that need a mother, or not that I would want her to have any, but anyway, there's so many kids out there that need families and mothers, especially now in the apocalypse. Go out and find someone who needs you instead of chasing after someone who's dead.
I agree. And that's why I keep saying, like, now that Nick is finally dead, like, finally dead. I didn't mean that.
Know
Now
what
that
you
Nick
meant.
is dead, I said that.
Oh,
I
he's
was like, whoa,
finally in
whoa,
the
no.
ground in the
Don't
right
come
way.
for me. Don't come for me. Now that Nick is dead and she knows it, she's finally willing to pay attention to Alicia. And I know that I'm saying that, and like maybe you guys are thinking like I'm not joking. Like, this is, she was so unfair in her relationship with Alicia. I think.
Unbalanced. Yes. Yeah.
It was so unbalanced, and Alicia vocalized it in the very first season. And so seeing that come first, like full circle, but this is like depressing to me that she's finally willing to pay attention to her daughter, and her daughter's gone.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
had
there's-
every opportunity. She told you that
she said it in this episode.
She said it season 1 and in season 3.
Well, she said it in
I
this
think
episode
when-
too, near the end of this episode, as she's peeling back the curtain of
Yeah.
hair. She's saying, "I'm sorry, I could have come to you anytime, and I screwed it up."
It's just really frustrating.
Yeah, and you feel her frustration too. So you teed me up perfectly, Bridget, because when it came time for Madison to say, "Well, she knows about Padre. We know, what we have to do," and then Daniel says that line. I instantly thought of cyclical drama because all of a sudden I wanted to shift the focus, like tilt the tripod sort of, and look at the situation from a different light. And I instantly thought of what you said just now, her having to kill her father figure, her stepdad, right? It was her stepdad.
I believe it was her actual dad.
Oh, okay, her actual dad. Because what was the whole theme of Padre to begin with? It was Padre knows best. These parents can't give these kids a better life for whatever reason, whatever, emotionally, not being able to give them medicine, food, whatever, scarcity, bomb drops, whatever it is. And they're saying, you know what? We have all these facilities. Let's raise these children to be ready for this thing. Right? Like, we know best. And there's some really interesting interplay between that and the cyclical drama of what Madison does without her kids. There's something, and Troy being a father, and how can she even possibly think that Troy has any possibility of changing, him being a father to a kid? Like, she doesn't trust fathers, is what I'm saying, is that there's something compelling about that as well.
I mean, that's fair. That's her baggage, right?
Exactly. So I some of that does, I think, play into that.
I
Well-
mean, she got over it with Travis, though, didn't she?
Yeah, but that's
Travis was the dad.
that's pre-apocalypse. That's like her in a normal world trying to get over her stuff. But
Well, and she did marry Nick and Alicia's dad also
Mm,
before that.
yeah, exactly. So why this is interesting is because what is Motley Crue's Livewire about?
Electricity.
Yeah,
It's about
messing things up.
it is a stepson wailing on his stepdad for all the abuse and all the pit and everything, every bit of crap this kid Nikki Sixx himself took. And so there's some interesting interplay here where it's like, and what is she doing out there? She's just blowing off some steam. She's just getting, just like Nikki Sixx is in the song, right? All this drama between fathers and sons and padres and all that stuff because of all the abuse. I just think there's an interesting thing here going on. Cyclical drama. Her not even I have nobody left to disappoint. In the end, I got my kids
Dave, are
killed.
you referring to the cyclical melodrama?
Cyclical melodrama. That's what it was.
Okay.
Cyclical
okay.
What was I saying? Cyclical.
You were
drama?
just saying drama. So I was
Sorry,
like,
that's what
I
I
was
meant.
curious if that's what you were directly referencing. or
Say
not.
it. That's what I was referencing. Yes.
The bad therapist. Yeah.
But it's like backsliding. Yeah, the bad therapist. But it's a real
Bad
thing, right? It's like if you don't have the tools, you can't get out of it, right? So I don't know. I just thought it's like Daniel and his conditioning and going back to that when it comes to wanting to kill Tracy as well. There's just something about backsliding into your cyclical melodrama that I actually kind of liked. Anyway, I don't know. I harped enough about that. Oh, wait, let's finish what we were reading. Okay. AJ says, take a shot every time Dave says I like this episode. Thomas says, here's a
You'd be
spoiler for you.
drunk.
The final
You'd
two
be
episodes
so
are going to suck. G. Wilson says, AJ, not the alcohol poisoning. Don't drink the I'll do almond milk, Carranza says. You son of a... It's not even that fun. Diego says, to your point, Charity, without the Troy scenes this season is unwatchable. Or at least the last half when we see him. Mitchell says, I really
I
enjoyed
did
the
love that
episode. It was just
comment.
super messy. Somebody else liked this episode but me? Mitchell, we'll talk afterwards. You'll be my buddy. I don't care that you guys don't like it, by the way. But
Immediately after that, Carranza said messy, but it did have moments. I need more than moments, though.
Look,
I'm going to call David Carranza skid mark.
messy
Meow.
with moments is not enough when you only have 3 episodes left.
Yeah, it does put us on edge, doesn't it, though? Right? Just like The
G.
Walking Dead.
Wilson's- G. Wilson said Charlie and fake Walker Alicia. Maybe we're born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's sing. You have to sing it, Bridget. Maybe she's born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Thank you.
I can't.
Oh wait, so I actually wanted to go to what Diego said earlier about what do I want out of the rest of the season, and aside from Alicia, what Rachel brilliantly said, I want to be surprised. That's what I want, and this episode had some surprising.
Dave's not subtle way of saying, "Don't send me spoilers." I want to be surprised.
No, man. Listen. I gave my fake outrage to Diego earlier. God, I'm not that mean. I'm not really that mean at all. In fact, I like this episode. You meanies. But
Dave's not mean at all.
Dave just said he liked the episode. I gotta take a shot.
Wait, that came out really sarcastic. I actually meant that. Dave's really not mean.
Oh, I was like, that seems.
I just started like shrinking. I'm already 5'2".
No, I
I've just
really
turned
meant it.
4'6".
No. I actually meant it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Dave-
Because you're referring to
Dave is not mean.
you're referring to some private chats we had in our Discord at one point. I think it was like you could be meaner, Dave, about a lot of things.
Oh yeah, those words have
He
come out
could
of my
be.
mouth.
And a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm remembering exactly because of the way you said it, actually. That's why I remembered it. Okay, anyway. Dave, you're too nice to this person who's a jerk. Anyway.
Jerk.
No, going back to your thing, I just want to be surprised. I want them to, and part of this episode was a surprise. I liked the dialogue between June and Victor. I liked that it was messy, and I liked that they didn't forgive him. And because it would be the same rehashing. Oh, people deserve second chances. The impossible is possible. Well, listen, I'm even sick of that at some point. Like, I don't want to see this coming. I don't want to see these plot points coming. I want to be surprised. And look, I don't like deaths for death's sake. But if somebody dies, I want it to be shocking. I don't want it to be chaotic. It doesn't have to
I don't
mean
want it to
something.
be ruined either.
What's that?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be ruined either. So if you guys could refrain from posting about it, if people don't watch it immediately.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm super behind.
You're too busy for
Right.
social media, Rachel. So you're kind of lucky in that respect.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah, you are got ruined by
seriously
social
thinking
media.
Blessed
about
one.
staying up Sunday night and watching it live on Instagram. Like I can't watch it on Instagram, but like having myself on Instagram while
You're
I
saying
watch it.
9 p.m. on Sunday or 3 a.m.?
No, 3 a.m.
Oh, I
Why?
thought you meant 9
That-
p.m. and I was like, oh, I'll watch it with you.
I can't wait that long.
Never mind.
I can't watch all
about-
of that at
How
3
about
a.m.
9 a.m.?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't
I have
know. We'll do
church.
a we react or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep finishing these up because I think you guys are feeling the effects of being awake so long.
Not just that, but like this was really wearing to like bring up these guttural, visceral emotions that I have about this
Yeah.
episode, but
Which is
also,
rare
like,
from
my
you,
anger
by the
over
way.
Well, I remember I did something like this similarly in season 7. It was 7B, and I cried. I cried during
I
the
remember
podcast
that. Yeah.
because I was so devastated with how stupid the writers felt that we were and how
Oh,
blatantly they
yeah.
were disregarding us and how they weren't giving us the ending that I felt like these characters deserved and that we deserved. And I stand by that statement. And I hope that
And
I'm
those
wrong.
tears.
I really hope that I'm wrong next week. But
I had just one more thing about the episode that I wanted to bring up. and
Is it
it's-
a good thing?
Um,
Keep going. It doesn't
she
matter.
waited too long. It's not. She waited too long.
More sound effects.
so I just want to point out. Oh, okay, maybe a couple of things. So it was. I don't know how I felt. I don't know how to describe the feeling when Strand points out that Tracy's wearing the St. Christopher medallion that apparently there was only one in production of, and so this had to be the one that he gave Alicia. Had to be it because only one of those was produced on the planet Earth.
I did
Also
notice that. Yeah. To your point.
Also, even if it was Alicia's, so that's telling us that Troy did kill Alicia. He took the necklace and her arm and gave it to his daughter like some sort of serial killer gives his children trophies.
See, I know I was
Checks
running.
out.
I know I was running with your scenario, Bridget, but
toys in the apocalypse, they got to give her something to play with because you know it's all the toys
mean-
are in the truck stops. There's no toys out there for her to play with, so give her an
Literally,
arm
you
and
know, people used to make do with a hoop and a stick, but I guess this
I
necklace.
mean, I used to kick pine cones in the forest, so
plenty of those around now, I suppose.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, some
You could make
people
a corn
carve
husk
fingers
doll.
out of wood.
I mean, there's a lot of things you could do.
You can make wood
Dwight.
fingers.
Yeah.
But no, to your point though, it doesn't have to be Alicia or related to Alicia, I suppose, right?
Right.
But I was going to say something about to Bridget's point though. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be appreciated anyway.
We're all tired.
Yeah. Mitchell says, I hate all the off-screen things that Fear's been doing. Diego says earlier, though, in one trailer, there's a truck with...
It's a spoiler.
Is there?
Don't read it.
Yes,
I think
it's a
he's-
spoiler. I read it.
He's
Oh,
joking,
I thought
though,
he
Something
isn't
was
from a
joking.
trailer.
Isn't he? He's joking.
I don't know. Is he?
I
Yeah,
thought it
he's
was a
I
joke.
thought he
joking.
was joking. I
Diego's
thought he was
saying in
Yeah,
one trailer there's
I
a
read
truck
that
with
too, but I
Padre,
thought it was a
but they
joke.
put a cross on the P and replaced it with M. So instead of Padre...
I
This is
read it
in,
and I was like, God, that's a spoiler, Diego. We just said we didn't want spoilers. And then
I
I was
know.
like, he must be joking.
this
because
is in
that's
response to
ridiculous.
Sharon.
I
He's
know.
saying, if I hear
I guess
Padre
so.
one more time, he's saying Madre. So that's what he's saying.
I'm
He's,
down with that.
he's helping
Watch,
you out,
it's
Sharon. He's
real.
like, oh,
it's
here's...
real, and I'm gonna be like, I hate
See?
everyone.
I told you. I'm gonna say like I told you it was real.
Listen,
Fool.
In all seriousness, they should call it Eden 2.
I would like that. I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, AJ says it just cuts to a tin can. And you think it's Nick's ashes, but it's Madison's, and then it shows this. It's sitting next to Nick's LMAO. The end.
Oh, you know what's gonna happen?
No,
is
I
they're
still
gonna
need to
end
see
up
her die
changing
on
it to-
screen.
Madison's gonna die, and they're gonna rename it like Madisonville or some crap like that.
Or
to
Clarkston or Clarkville or
Clark's. Take the last.
I'd be fine
train
with
to
Clarkston or
Clarkville or
something Clark
Clarkvale.
related. I'd be fine with that.
Diego
Um,
says he was joking.
yeah.
Good.
Thank
God.
you, Diego.
Okay, good.
You got me.
Don't
got
tell us
me.
spoilers immediately.
You know,
tells us
Mitchell asks
spoilers.
an interesting question. I think this is worth just shooting from the hip about. He says, "Who do the four of you think will be on the title cards for the last two episodes?"
Strand and Madison.
Oh.
But really, in that order?
Oh, that's a good guess. That's
Because
really
he was
good guess.
in
Yeah, probably.
Anton. I mean, but still. And she was in. Wasn't she in the one for Iron
Hmm.
Tiger? No,
Maybe it'll be Tracy and
was Luciana.
Madison.
maybe it's Alicia, and I don't know.
It's Tobias. It's Tobias on both.
Tobias. Yes.
Farts.
Yes.
I hate
It's
you
the
guys.
beer
Oh,
bottle
that's
balloon
another
and
thing I want to
Swati.
see. That's another thing.
What
I wanna
is
see.
Oh, I do
Tobias?
want to see Tobias.
Seriously.
If to,
One-
okay,
I
For
am
real?
yes,
No,
dead serious.
I'm serious. I'm
Dead
serious. I'm being
serious. Yes.
Rachel
God.
and
I
I
want
are
to
on
see
board. We're
Tobias.
team
Never-
Tobias.
If we
Yes.
do, okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Okay, we're gonna make a bet, right? Ready? This is for real. I'll
Okay.
totally
I'm
do this.
Totally wrong.
I'll totally do this. No, but this is why I'm gonna do it because
Okay,
it'll be
okay.
wrong.
Okay.
I will sit out the entire finale discussion if Tobias shows up, or is even mentioned in those episodes.
I shake your hand virtually, sir. I take this bet.
and I'll be
Wait,
like,
what happens when we lose? What
One of
happens
us-
when we lose?
One of us
though?
could be like
Nothing,
in the
it's
recording,
fine.
One of us could just go like
Okay.
Tobias, like inserted.
like they'll insert separate words and make Tobias.
I hope they introduce a totally unrelated character, and his name is Tobias.
If they say no, you're too biased, you'll be like, that counts. That counts.
Yes, that counts.
And it will, and I will not appear in the episode, and you guys will have the
What
reins.
if he's going by Toby now? What if he dropped
Oh,
Tobias?
that
Now he's going by
totally
Toby?
doesn't count, actually. So it has to be Tobias or Tobias or as close. But if he's called Toby, that will not be enough.
But if we see him,
If
and
we
he's
see him,
still
that's
going
it.
by
I'm
Toby,
not in
that
those
counts.
episodes. Not in that episode discussion. I'll give you my notes or my takes.
Hey, all
Diego,
you-
you're my kind of people.
All you video show photoshoppers out there, get on it.
Yeah.
That's not- I'm
Diego
not-
is my kind of people.
I'm staying
Season
away
9
from
will
the
have
internet.
Tobias as the main character. I love it.
He'll be in the title card and
say that
he'll be the
again?
focus.
No, that's the
Season
next
9 will have
spin-off.
Tobias as the main
That's
character.
the next spin-off. The
Actually,
Walking
he's the
Dead
only
Book of
character.
Tobias.
I'd watch
The
that.
Book of Tobias.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I'm
Walking
here for
Dead
that.
Tobias.
I would. Wouldn't you love
No,
like a little
Walking
3-part
Dead, the
miniseries
Book
about
of
what
Tobias.
Tobias is up to? Like,
God.
like his journey from
I
where we
would.
met
If
him.
they made that
I would
webisodes,
love
I'd watch
that.
the hell out of that.
Here's
Where
what I'm
would
gonna
in
do
the
too.
right now.
world is
Yes.
Tobias?
Goodness.
Yes. I'm trying so hard to make
I
that
wanna
fit in
solve
my
that
head.
puzzle.
It's just not.
G. Wilson says, I feel like
Where
something's going to
in the
happen to
world
either
is
Frank or Klaus. And if
Tobias?
that's the case, then I'm going to be sad because I like them with Strand. You broke me.
Yeah, I like
You
him
broke me.
too. And if I feel like that wouldn't be dramatic of enough of a death. Like if they're gonna kill
Like whatever.
somebody
if
major off, it wouldn't.
That's
be
not
one of them.
major. Yeah,
they
you're
can
right.
kill off
No,
Klaus, I'm okay with that, but they better not touch a hair on Frank's head. That's all I'm saying.
I don't like
they
that.
do kill
That's
him,
not a
sexy
good.
Just don't mess
man
up the
alone.
face.
I don't.
Just
Did
don't.
you just
Just
say
don't
the
mess up
sun
the
could
face.
die as long
Yeah,
as
Yes.
leave that
I know. I don't
sexy
like that
man
at all.
alone.
I don't know. Oh. Ugh.
Strand needs to feel the pain of losing a child.
By the way, Thomas leaves in protest because I'm defending this episode, and I think that's really
he's
dumb.
still here.
That's really
He's still
dumb. No, I'm gonna still say it's dumb. Don't leave because
Fear the walk.
and
Yes.
and
Thomas,
yet
fear the
said-
walking Tobias.
and yet more
Fear the
people
walking
joined on.
dead
By the way,
Tobias who
more people are
lives.
watching now because Thomas did that. Anyway, Tobias is watching this, right? Tobias, the actor who plays
Yeah.
Tobias.
The walking-
Like Tobias, listen,
The
we have a
Walking Dead Tobias Dixon.
Okay. Should we just be done? Because we've said Tobias
We're
like
going
100
off the
times
rails.
last minute.
no, but I didn't get to say I love this episode again. So
Oh,
Everybody
Alright,
I'm
take a
done.
shot.
That's it.
okay, so Diego says Madison hates fathers so much.
glasses come off.
Diego says Madison hates father so much that in one of the trailers there is a trunk with. Oh wait, I read that already. Oh, mother in
Yes,
Spanish.
you did.
Okay. That's weird. He said the
It's
same
'cause
thing again.
comments
We
just
heard
keep
you.
coming in, Dave. It's never gonna end. Dave's gonna read this until the end of time.
We're gonna be here till 3 a.m. At this rate, we could watch the episode Sunday at 3.
This is why I don't like reading comments anyway. There's so many short jokes, Thomas. I don't like it. Don't
Did
like
he
it.
repeat my favorite short joke ever that Thomas told?
What
No,
was it?
David.
it-
No, don't say it. It's so short.
I think I know what one.
He has to go up on him.
Nice.
Is that what it is?
Oh, that was the best short joke. That was in our Last of Us coverage. Unforgettable.
I thought of too.
That was a clip. That made the clip.
David's so short he has to go up on women.
And that would. Then I said something about. I said a lot of things. Dare not repeat.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like Skidmark.
Wait,
So-
Shandy. Did you ever say the thing that you said you were gonna say, the line you took from AJ?
Oh, somebody else said it. I think Thomas used it. It was Alicia cosplayers.
Oh,
He said
Oh, okay.
he said that
okay.
like right
That
after I
was
watched
it?
the episode.
Yeah.
We hey look, AJ said a whole bunch. I read some of it.
Hey,
to
it
Rachel
stuck,
the other
right?
night. It was so funny. He is AJ. You're hilarious if you're still there, my friend. You are freaking hilarious. Thomas, you
He
too.
is.
oh, you know what? I skipped over a really good comment. Okay, so Diego says Alicia reunion, kill Sherry and have Dwight go Dead City, perfect ending. Wait, and he says don't kill Troy. What do you think about that last part at the very least?
Sure,
I'm
Viva la
fine with
Troy.
that.
Mm,
Yep.
interesting.
At this point, I'm Team
There's a
Troy.
lot of
He's
spite.
not- He's easy on the eyes, so it's
So,
fine.
so you have a Franck too. Anyway.
I have
Excuse me,
I have
I
a
was the
contact
original
he can
Frank
borrow
lover.
though.
Troy is pretty.
I'm a
hot,
Frank
like, I'm not
fighter.
gonna lie. Even with that funky eye, it's the eye that does it.
Did I just break you, Bridget? It's a new band called the Frank Fighters.
I'm a frog lover. I'm a frog fighter.
What?
One more thing.
Happened?
It's just all the Foo Fighter songs, but in German.
Oh my gosh.
And better looking objectively than the Foo Fighters.
Oh my god.
This is, by the way, we're not the podcast you want. It's the podcast you deserve. Just saying that, man. Out loud. Yes, we're the Frank Fighters. Walking Dead. By the way, Walking Dead Eternal just woke up with that joke. It's just like I haven't seen him for so long, and then Frank Fighters when he woke up.
Oh, I just thought of a meme. I gotta make. Let me write it.
Because of that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, I there's listen. There's so much that I could bring up, but to be
Writing on
to be
my-
frank with you,
On my
Your meme
Aw.
team lasso paper from my friend Bridget,
Aw.
my team lasso pad.
I think
I love it.
I did. You know what? What did you think about Luciana not wanting? One thing I really liked this about Luciana. She did not want to be involved with Padre's mess. She didn't want anything to do with that, and I thought there was something special about that. That like not everybody had to care about everybody, and that she wanted to just care
She
about
knows
her.
what's up.
Yeah, yeah. I dug
Yeah.
that.
She was tired of hearing about Padre too. She was like, "Oh my
Mhm.
god, if I have to hear them one more time."
And yet the Madison virus infected her too, because basically
Yep,
all the
here
people she
comes
was trying to
Madison.
protect are basically dead.
Here comes Madison rolling up, tearing everything down. Are you sure she's not a Grimes?
Here comes Madison.
Here
Here
comes
comes Madison.
Madison.
High five. That was great. Up down Clarksville Lane.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
That's it. The show is over.
that's it. That's it.
This interview is over.
Madison got run over by a reindeer.
You
No.
wish.
Madison got run over by an MRAP. Oh yes.
Yes.
You know what? You should be writing this down, Rachel. These are great ideas for your thing. Okay. Anyway,
No. I got a list.
are you checking it twice? I'm ashamed.
No.
I'm ashamed.
It's Madison, so I'm only checking it once, and then it's gonna get screwed up in the end anyway. True to form.
Yeah, yeah. Diego says Luciana didn't care about Troy in the season. Every time he's mentioned, she still doesn't care, bro. I'm like, yeah, I love that. I love
Yep.
that for her.
She's like, I'm doing,
Oh, about
I'm
Nick.
doing the thing.
Oh, he
leave
meant
me
Nick.
out.
by the way, not Troy. I just
Oh.
think, I think
I think she's
pain-
moved on.
yeah, it's painful, but
Yeah.
she knows what Troy's trying to do. Yeah, and she knows
I
what
laughed
Madison's
so hard
trying
I
to do.
pulled a
And then
muscle.
Nick has been
Oh,
gone.
no.
I'm not okay.
Nick has been gone for many, many, many years. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say the pain goes away, but
Well, no, it's something you carry with you, but you move on.
yeah.
And she's doing something good with her life.
And maybe one of the trucker dudes is her man too. I mean, we don't know, but maybe she has somebody else after all this time too.
Well, if that's the case, he's probably dead now.
Right. And he's killed off screen too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Died off screen.
AJ says the season ends with Strand taking over Padre and having a theater presentation of the Rocky Horror Picture Show featuring Frankenfurter. I feel like he reached a little, but I respect it. G. Wilson says Luciana.
like
you just messed up my meme idea because I was gonna Photoshop Frank's head on Frankenfurter's body.
You better put makeup on that bitch. Oh,
Ah.
I got a buzzing on your.
Will someone
okay.
please Photoshop Frank's head onto all members of the Foo Fighters?
All
Yeah.
of them.
I feel
I
like.
thought that. I honestly thought that's what Sharon was gonna do.
Well, you need to have one panel be the Frank lovers and the other one the Frank fighters.
Stop.
Well, and the Frank lovers would be us, our faces, and then the Frank fighters would be just Frank and with the faces of all the band of the Foo Fighters. Anyway,
the Foo Fighters.
David is starting to shut down. He needs to go plug in and recharge.
G. Wilson says Luciana's people from season 2 got caught up with Troy's people, and she got shot by them too. So it makes sense as to why she reacts to
No.
Madison like that.
No, you guys stop commenting. Stop commenting.
Walking Dead
He's just
Eternal
gonna
says,
keep
"I don't know who
reading 'em."
Frank is. Frank is
Don't
Frank.
read-
Frank.
Don't read it
Wait.
until the end of time.
Frank. Frank is
It's
Strand's
Frank.
husband.
It's Frank.
It's Frank.
But it's Frank.
It's Frank.
Frank.
But
Frank.
yeah, Frank.
Klaus.
No, stop commenting.
Thomas says, "Good night, everyone."
Good night.
Klaus,
Good night.
All right,
Klaus
everybody.
is going to save everybody, and then he's gonna be
Insert
sainted. So he's gonna be
Damnation.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna call him
He's gonna
Santa
be
Claus.
Santa Claus.
Santa
And
Santa
he's gonna
Claus.
go around and give coal to everybody
Yeah. So with that, everybody,
because they're all bad.
if you like what you heard, except for the Tobias part, head on over to
Nope.
ratethispodcast.com/Squawking Dead. 5 stars and an eggplant is all we need to know that you love us. But tell us what you liked. Tell us what you didn't like. Tell us what we might have missed, because there's a lot. For those of you who
probably
actually
a
like
lot.
this episode, especially like Mitchell, I'm counting on you. But remember, remember to tell us after every episode. And if you really like what we're doing, we don't always go live, and sometimes we will pre-record episodes. Well, consider either following us for free on Ko-fi or Patreon. That's ko-fi.com/squawkingdead or patreon.com/squawkingdead. You don't have to buy us a coffee to get Dave's notes, which you will get after this live stream is through. And you don't have to join a membership tier for as little as $1 a month, which includes the unedited episode recordings, usually, except for this one because it's live. Or a whole host of other baseline perks, especially in the Ko-fi shop, which you can get a ton of things like ringtones and wallpapers and stuff like that. Don't insert comments, it's fine. But when you do tip, you could tip us on Scream also, and the comment will be on the video forever. I should have said that at the top, but I didn't. It's fine. It's cool. I'm not mad about
Team
it.
Tobias. Yes.
Okay, with your stuff and your stupid Tobias. But when
I
you
love
do,
you guys. Thank you so much for being here
Love
you
you
and
guys.
being part of
We
this.
love you guys.
you
You're
can.
amazing.
I'm still doing the outro thing. It's just,
Well, I had to say something
care
or it would
anymore.
never end.
but then they won't join the Ko-fis and the Patreons.
They will. They already are. All of them. I'm sure. I don't
I've
know.
never
I
been
don't look
interrupted
at
while
the
doing the
things.
outro. It's really
Oh, I messed
so
up
many.
the flow. Oh no,
It's
cannot
my-
compute.
I'm broken.
Beep boop, beep
Huh.
boop, bop boop, beep.
So, Whispers and Survivors tier members get shout outs at the end of the episode, you crazy bitch. And they are.
Language.
Edit
Well,
this out.
Sharon D started with the F word earlier. Frank fighter.
Two wrongs don't make a
That's
Right.
the F word.
Two
Frank
Franks don't
fire?
make a Klaus. It's just a Victor and a Frank. I don't know how that works.
I don't think they
Like,
made
biologically,
it close either.
that doesn't work at all. Anyway, if you join a membership tier, you can get access to the unedited episode recordings, Dave's notes at the end of the episode, a whole host of other perks in the Ko-fi shop, as well as at the end of these episodes, if you join the Whispers and Survivors tiers, the Survivors tier being the ability to join us in these episode breakdowns with us on screen and camera and mic. You get shout outs at the end of these episodes, starting with the Survivors tier members, of whom are at RealRyanGM on X, or formerly Twitter, at ElizaJones71 on Instagram, or at JonesAJ6 on X/Twitter. And of course, Fanart Lindy, who you can reach at ko-fi.com/fanartlindy. And on to our Whispers tier members, we've got at Judith.Morn on Instagram, Aiden Atkin, who you can reach at ko-fi.com/AidenAtkin, at Tyler Phillip Cox on both Instagram and X/Twitter, Sandy.D.Morrison, at Lois Martin, at Lois.Martin.54, and at Kim Rowley, the number one on Facebook. So yeah, I remember her thing. I looked it up because I care about Kim Rowley and she deserves the proper shout out. And of course, on here in the chat, at I Found Them Rick G on X/Twitter. That's Mitchell. Thank you for joining us for this very long episode that's going to take a very long time to edit. Didn't really think this through, did I? And I appreciate you guys for being here. And by the way, the numbers keep going up. People are tuning in now to watch the end of this episode. So again, remember to rate us at ratethispodcast.com/squawkingdead and consider joining or just following for free on Ko-fi or Patreon, because you'll get the recording schedules, you'll be aware of what's going on, and you'll be in the know for the cool things that we have to come. Hopefully, Fear is one of those cool things. I sincerely hope, and I hope you guys too, let's be more optimistic. Let's hope that all of this was we got Sanctuary. I thought Iron Tiger was good. And I think there were more good episodes in this back half than there were bad. Do you guys agree with that?
Don't ask that question.
Anyway, well, maybe not everybody else thinks the way you do.
Notice the
Everybody else is
silence.
being very quiet for some reason. Why?
I'm checked out.
We're getting ready to sign off.
You just asked us to be more positive, and then you asked us that question, so I'm being
Yeah.
quiet.
Wow. Really? Okay. All right.
I'm stuck on the fact that you said our numbers were going up once we started laughing and having more fun.
Take that, Blue Cat 49. Or
Take
whatever.
that, Dave, the editor.
Blue Cat 57.
42.
Whatever.
This is
We were somewhere in the middle.
like the theme of this episode. The truth lies somewhere in between. And with that, everybody, we'll see you later. I've been your host, David Cameo, and I was joined by the lovely and beautiful and Mr. at Cosmom09, Rachel Burt. Whoa, your face got really weird. Why did you do that face? Anyway,
I didn't
yes,
know who
that's
you were
you.
talking about.
Cosmos09, Rachel Burt, Sharon D, aka Blazy Gardner, and Bridget, ko-fi.com/Punky Brewster. That's PUNKY BRUISETR. We'll see you guys next week for probably an even longer episode. Yay. Covering the last 2 episodes. Yeah, listen,
I'll make sure I get a 5-hour energy or something before I come home.
do they make 10 hour? Because that's how long we're going, everybody. Whoop!
Oh, it's the Iron Tiger. It's the
Thrill of
worst
the fight.
episode
It's
of
the
my life.
thrill of the
It's-
Frank.
Frank!